For the first time, Fernando Alonso starts on the front row of the grid alongside Max Verstappen. A run down to turn one, which looks to be absolutely fantastic. A mixed-up qualifying gives us a mixed-up grid. It's the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix. A 13-hour flight from Baku, we arrive in Montreal. For the first time since 2019, it's the Canadian Grand Prix. So Red Bull have won the last 5 races, and in total in 2022, Max Verstappen has won 5, Perez won 1 in Monaco, Leclerc only the 2 winners this year in Bahrain and Australia. It's round 9 of the season here before a 2-week break. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone, backs to back with the Austrian Grand Prix at Spielberg, takes us to our second sprint event of the year and the halfway stage. France and Hungary then lead us in back-to-back for the summer break before a triple header, Belgium, Netherlands and Italy through the end of August and the first couple of weeks of September. Then a 2-week break before Singapore and Japan go back-to-back, 2 weeks, United States and Mexico, 2 weeks, Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi rounds out the season on the 20th of November. In the Drivers' Championship with 5 victories this year, unsurprisingly Max Verstappen leads the way by 21 points to Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc with double DNF in Spain and then again in Baku as well, sprinting 34 points back. George Russell only 51, he's entering the fray. Carlos Sainz a retirement as well for the 3rd time this season in Baku, puts him 5th. Lewis Hamilton 88 points back in 6th. Lando Norris just ahead of Valtteri Bottas by 10 points. Esteban Ocon and now Pierre Gasly breaks into the top 10 for the first time this season. On the second page, Fernando Alonso up to 11th. Kevin Magnussen has dropped down to 12th place. First time he's been at the top 10 all year long. He's equal on points with Daniel Ricciardo. Sebastian Vettel is in 14th place. Yuki Tsunoda in 15th. Alex Lynn and Lance Stroll as well as Zhou Guanyu still on the points at the early stages of the season. No points though for Mick Schumacher, Nico Hülkenberg or still Nicholas Latifi. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way now by 80 points to Scuderia Ferrari. Mercedes are in 3rd on 118 points back, so 161. Then it's McLaren versus Alpine for 4th. Alfa Romeo joining in the fight as well, so are AlphaTauri, who are still on 27 points. Haas, Aston Martin level on points. Williams in 10th on 3 points. Drivers, teams and fans have missed this place. The circuit Gilles Villeneuve returns for the Canadian Grand Prix. Hello everybody, welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix. The atmosphere is electric. After a wet qualifying yesterday, it's given us a fantastic look at what the race can be tomorrow. Everyone is expecting the same amount of drama as we've had across this season so far. Charles Leclerc starts 19th on the grid after his grid penalties as well. Carlos Sainz starts 3rd, Fernando Alonso 2nd, Max Verstappen on pole position. But Max Verstappen's not going to have any backup from the Ferrari attack because Sergio Perez starts 13th on the grid after crashing in qualifying as well. It really is mixed up. Wet qualifying, wet practice puts us in for a dry race as well. The grass still wet, so that could be a problem if anyone runs offline. We are truly in for a great race. Right, before we cross over then, let's take a look back at the qualifying highlights. And on the other side, it'll be time to cross over for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's green light and away we go as qualifying is underway for the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix on the Ile Notre Dame here in Montreal. The spray is still bad as they exit the pit lane. What's it like out on the circuit as well? The rain, according to Ted Kravitz in the pit lane, has stopped, but there is an awful lot of this standing water that could create drama. The first part of qualifying, 18 minutes, all 20 cars will head out there as well. At the end of this session, we'll lose the slowest 5 for Sergio Perez. Looks like it could be a little bit of a thing to try and get out of the pit lane. They're having to push him back actually in the fast lane because he couldn't get out, such as the pit lane exit here as well. And Josh, so far everyone's going out there on the extreme wets, at least for the initial laps. Do you reckon it's good to get a banker on these tyres and then go over to the Inters? But who's brave? It does look very much horrific out there.
I am honestly really, really not surprised that everyone has gone for wets. I don't think we'll get to wets in Q1. If it stops raining, we might get intermediates to in Q2 and Q3, but definitely not inters for Q1.
So, who's down there on the track? I can't say. It could be Sainz. It's Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, I think, has gone in the way. He's gone reversing. He's run straight on down at turn 4. And can he get it in gear without stalling the engine? Yes, he can. So, yellow flag gets rescinded. And we head back into green flag running out here on the circuit.
So I keep pushing behind Carlos. So
you'll get one more lap. You'll get one more lap. Currently P12.
30 seconds to go then in this first part of qualifying, and it's all drama to go on the screen here. Perez is the driver at risk as he crosses the line, goes 12th, 133.929. Ricciardo at risk in the drop zone. Gasly, Vettel, Stroll, Latifi, Tsunoda as well. Tsunoda doesn't really matter that much, but who can get through to the next part of qualifying will be key. Vettel can't do it. He's 3/10 down. Now we're going to see the times as the checkered flag comes out. Alonso goes second, 132.277. The checker flag falls. It means Pierre Gasly. And who's across the line? Gasly on 134.432 as well. Next across the line is Daniel Ricciardo. He gets out of the drop zone, goes into 8th place, 133.636 as well. Bottas calls it off. Tsunoda's in the pit lane. He was starting last anyway. Will start last. Leclerc will start 19th on the grid despite progressing into the next session as well, as here comes Nicholas Latifi. Gasly 16th, Stroll 18th, Vettel and Latifi fighting it out to get through. Albon might get through for Williams. Perez is on the cusp as well as they come through. Norris could get eliminated. Latifi can't do it. Vettel I don't think can either. He's backed off. It's Gasly, Vettel, Stroll, Latifi and Tsunoda, the drivers eliminated in the first part of qualifying. Leclerc goes through but will start 19th and bump everybody up. So it'll be Latifi 18th, Stroll 17th, Vettel 16th and 15th for Gasly. But that's Gasly confirmed 15th. Now we've got to figure out who's going to go out next as Magnussen goes 4th. 132.953 as well, and Alonso takes the line in 2nd position. What a run we've had here. Unless Vettel can do something across the line now. Don't think he can. No. So Gasly, Vettel, Stroll, Latifi and Tsunoda, the first 5 eliminated for the Canadian Grand Prix. Green light and away we go for qualifying number 2 for the Canadian Grand Prix on the Ile Notre Dame in Montreal. 15 minutes, 15 cars. And once again at the end we lose the slowest 5 from the competition as well. This session decides grid positions 11 to 15, and many of the cars going out there on full wet weather tyres. But Josh plays alongside me in the commentary box. I can notice at least one Alpine out there on intermediate, and that will be, I believe, that of Esteban Ocon. I'm not too sure about that though.
There was a traffic jam in the pit lane. It will be interesting, and how Ricciardo stalled it.
Can you get it going? Took a while to get that going. It's a brand new set, though, of wet tyres by the look of it as well, so they're not taking a risk. And Alonso goes top. 1:30.910. We've got a yellow flag in the 2nd sector, and it's a permanent yellow. Sector 6. I think it is Alex Albon. He has stopped, so maybe he's gone straight on at turn 4.
Sector 6 is turn 6.
Yeah, it's sector 6. Yeah, it'll be a red flag then. This will be a red flag if he can't get it reversed. He's just gone in. He's locked up. He hasn't actually knocked his front wing off or gone into the barrier. He's just sort of parked at the entrance to it. But I think they might red flag it if he can't find reverse. So we'll have
2 or 3 more timed on this tyre. We just have to decide if the next one needs 3 or 4. If it needs more warm-up, we'll come on to it earlier.
It was perfect as well from Alexander Albon. Literally just a kiss into it as well. He barely touched it. The wing's not damaged at all. No damaged suspension. He can get going again, and this is how he did it, Josh. Looks like he just went locked top straight in.
Yeah, there's another yellow.
Oh, there is. Sector 3. And that's Perez. Perez. Ocon did the wall, but where's Perez? Perez in the wall. And this time it looks like it's gone in a bit harder. You can't reverse out of grass. So I reckon this, and he's gone in hard. Sergio Perez, this might actually red flag the session. He's trying to get reverse. He's gone into the Tech Pros down there at turn 3 at the exit of the chicane, so the wing will be damaged. They may as well red flag it just so they can get him out of there. So now you've got to find reverse, but this is crucial because it's yellowing the track.
Inters look okay, Daniel. Inters look okay. Alonso fastest, 1:30.9. Inter.
Let's take a look how he did it.
No box.
Locks up
box.
on the Inter, goes straight on, and he has damaged the wing, Josh. The wing is damaged, the Tech Pro's damaged, and I reckon the wing is, the suspension could be damaged as well. The way it hit, I reckon it's broken. Red flag.
Red flag.
It's all right, I can't see that, Josh. Sorry, you don't need to say it. But yeah, red flag is out there. Session is stopped. Green light, and away we go once again then for the next part of qualifying. This is Q2. Restarted after Sergio Perez went into the wall and caused the red flag. Hopefully, it's going to be an interesting situation as cars taking a long time to leave the pit lane here. Josh and Max Verstappen too, trying to get some slipstream and get themselves a bit of room. At the same time, they're just delaying everyone in the pit lane. It's a bit naughty. 2 minutes to go in qualifying number 2, and it's all dramatic as well as Schumacher goes back to 5th, 1:27.089. Verstappen is fastest at 1:25.201 as well. Here comes Ricciardo. Ricciardo goes 6th. Ocon in the drop zone. Across the line, Lando Norris does start a lap time then. He's 14th at the moment. Leclerc's not. Oh, and Lando goes through the water at turn 1 and turn 2. He made a complete mess of that, did Lando. He would have felt it as well. The car wasn't there. Get another time lap, but he's going to have to do 2 push laps back to back now for Lando Norris. That's an awful strain for Lando out there as well as they come through. Schumacher is fastest in the first sector. It's a 24.485. As Magnussen goes 4th, Bottas goes 6th.
So it'll be a build lap now, so strut 1 over the line.
Schumacher.
And the final push will be strut 2. So you're P2.
Schumacher 27.8 in the second sector. Schumacher is lighting up the timing screens. That is amazing. Zhou goes 5th. That puts Ricciardo at risk at the moment. Lewis Hamilton is currently in the drop zone as well. It's all changing here in the second part of qualifying. Into the hairpin at turn 10 for Lando. He's got Ocon just behind him. Lando's backed out of the lap, but he'll get to the line in time to set another one. Ocon, though, is on an absolute flyer with a dry line down the back straight. Schumacher goes 3rd at 1:25.773. Well done, Mick Schumacher, as Ocon gets a little bit wrong in the last chicane. Ricciardo goes 4th. And here comes Ocon. Cross the line. And doesn't improve. Ocon stays 10th. Alonso in trouble. Sorry, yeah, Alonso in trouble. Hamilton.
You'll get one more. Keep pushing.
Checker flag comes out in 3 seconds. Alonso drifting for all his might. Alonso the first to meet the checkered flag. Can he make it through safely? He's top! 1:24.848. Alonso's top. Bottas goes 7th. Magnussen crosses the line and goes 5th. 1:26.254. Verstappen, though, it's fastest in sectors 1 and 2 as things stand. But somebody take the photo. It's Alonso topping the qualifying time. Once again, here comes George Russell. Can he spoil the party for Fernando Alonso? Zhou goes 5th. Hamilton's in trouble. Russell goes 2nd. Here's Lewis Hamilton across the line. Is he out of qualifying? What can he do? And Hamilton goes through. Bottas is in trouble now. Across the line comes Albon. He's out of qualifying. Goes 11th. Where's Verstappen? Sainz goes 3rd. Ocon's backed out. He's out of qualifying. Oh no, he hasn't backed out. Apologies. He hasn't. Verstappen top, 1:23.746. Here comes Ocon now. He looked like he backed out, but he's still pushing hard. What's the car got? Can Ocon kick Bottas out of qualifying? 1:26.788 the time to beat. He's done at 1:26. Bottas out of qualifying. Ocon goes through. It's Verstappen, Alonso, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Schumacher, Zhou, Ocon, and Magnussen, along with Ricciardo going through. Bottas, Albon, Perez, Norris and Leclerc out of qualifying. Norris with a power unit problem, and he couldn't get a lap time together. Green light on at the end of the pit lane, and the final part of qualifying is underway here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve on the Ile Notre Dame as well. 12 minutes, 10 drivers, drying track, still inters, but no rain predicted as well. Megan Birch joins me now in the commentary box for one very good reason. Fernando Alonso was third in qualifying 1, he was second in qualifying 2. He's led qualifying under a red flag period as well for Perez hitting the wall, Megan. There's a genuine shot. Fernando could get pole here.
Yeah, though I'm wrapping Dad's presents.
You got 12 minutes?
Not really.
Yeah, but this is Fernando. To see Fernando on pole, I think you would. I didn't think you'd do the race.
Anymore. I generally thought that you meant that it was near the end of the session.
Oh no, we've got a whole session left as well. Josh plays with us in the commentary box as well, but let's hear from Ted Kravitz.
There is a little bit of sun, and if you look out your window, the commentary box, you can see over the grandstand looking out over the pits, there is a little bit of sun breaking through.
What margin do I have to do what we have to do?
Maybe
around 45
someone like Ricardo, maybe with nothing to lose. Maybe Kevin Magnussen with nothing to lose towards halfway through the session might go for it, but I can't see it at the moment.
Cheers for that, Ted, as they come through. Previous polls here, 19 for Vettel and 18 as well. That won't happen. Vettel 17th. Hamilton at 17, 16 and 15 as well, but he's very much out of it. Fernando Alonso has had a pole position here before as well. 2006, he was on pole here for Renault in the V8 era as well. And could he actually take it though, Megan? That's a question.
I don't know.
Oh,
He's second right now, though.
That was the result at the end of the last session as well.
Yeah.
As they take
I need
in.
to sit down because these are very uncomfortable shoes.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
Because they're a size smaller than I actually am.
Well, you take a seat and Josh plays alongside us in the box. You're saying Alonso too then, Josh? That's what when we decided to call Megan to the box. It's a genuine shot here, but don't rule out George Russell. He's been quite fast this weekend so far in the wet weather.
And I'm only saying Alonso because Megan's around.
Well, this is her weekend off, and yet she's done a bit this weekend. She just can't stay away. And when it's Alonso...
That's because you keep bringing Alonso into this.
Well, he was quick. Verstappen fastest sector 2. Russell's fastest sector 1, though. 23.976 at the moment. Alonso's out there. Is Alonso the last driver out there? No, Ricardo is, but Alonso's got Ocon behind him as well. But Alonso's following Sainz, so let's watch his lap times with great interest as a dry line starts to appear. See, it's dry in some parts, and he hit the hairpin. And look, there's got standing water everywhere, and it's tricky. And you get a little bit of the wetness on the track. Can you see it?
Yes, and I just love how you subtly put Palpatine lines into everything.
Oh, we had Order 66 earlier on as well with everything as well, because it was a 66 something, although I can't remember what it was, but still. We were putting it all in. Russell fastest second sector. Verstappen fastest sector 1. As they come across the line then.
These shoes are so tight.
Hamilton takes provisional pole, 124.360. Russell will take it away with a 124.006. But Verstappen coming down the back straightaway, Josh, looks mega quick as Magnussen goes third. Yeah, he was quicker as well in the Q2, Josh.
Yeah, mega quick as Verstappen.
Looking good, yeah, into the last corner. Taking it to the line.
Oh, nearly in the champion of all.
Yeah, he was so close to the end of that one. Across the line there comes Verstappen. And it's a 122.701. Fastest time so far in this qualifying. Here comes Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. The only Ferrari up there.
You watch. You can't be in here for nothing.
Yeah. Here comes Fernando Alonso. Cross the line for Fernando. It's a 123.849. Goes third fastest for Fernando. And he's 1.148 away from Verstappen's time, but Alonso's got more grip to find. Leclerc was out of qualifying, but he starts at the back anyway with a new power unit.
What happened to him?
New power unit, so he just left Q2, and he started 19th on the grid anyway. And this is Lando Norris nearly having a natural off. Stanley Ricciardo, Josh, having an off down at turn 5 and 6.
Goodness, so Lando's not in it.
Yeah, and just a little twitch here is one of the Mercedes George Russell going into turn 3 and turn 4.
Did he touch the wall? Yeah, the car went to the left and went to the right actually, and nearly hit the wall as well. Actually, it would look closer on board. Off board, nothing even went off the line, so that was perfect. as well. Logan said that Stroll has failed to get his dad a Father's Day gift, that's for sure. That's what you're doing now, aren't you? Wrapping up the Father's Day gift presents?
Yeah, I'm nearly done with number 2.
Still quite damp.
Keep pushing.
I have one thing left.
Sorry, Max. Science comes...
Not one present to wrap, so one sellotape to put on that present.
Science takes it with a 122.932. Goes second. Fernando Alonso crosses the line with the fastest first sector. Fernando goes back to third with Schumacher fourth. It's Alonso Schumacher, second row of the grid as things stand.
Could this be Mick's highest?
It would be, yeah. Mick's highest grid qualifying is 14th.
This is definitely underdog day.
And Hamilton's backed out of his lap time. Who did he let through? Russell, his teammate. Presumably that's to go back to the pits. Ricardo's done a 1:25.068 as well, so he's out of it as well at the moment.
What the hell happened to Perez?
Crashed into the wall in Q2.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and nose got damaged off. That's why he brought out the red flag. That's why we're 12 minutes over.
As soon as we find out who's pole and leaving.
Yeah. Russell, don't blame me. Russell goes fifth, doesn't improve. Alonso might actually be on third place here. And he's on course to start on the front row for the first time since Germany 2012. SHT said earlier on if he qualifies second. Hasn't had a pole since then either. That was his last pole position. Germany 2012 in the Ferrari. Started front as well. Joe stays 8th. Josh, can you hear me?
Yep, my phone just vibrated and it fell off the stand. It's my monitor. Here's a replay of Lewis Hamilton locking up, going into turn 8 and turn 9, just making the corner.
I reckon that was okay. Alonso, I think, has taken some curbs. So, yeah, Alonso, I think, has got more time to give. He's 3/10 away from Verstappen. If the track stays like this, Alonso is going to be literally licking his lips, doing everything going like this for his best qualifying back in Formula 1.
Okay, Max, what are your thoughts on conditions? Keep pushing.
Yeah, it's interns, but new tires.
Understood. Box this lap. Keep up the pace, Max. Keep up the pace. Box this lap.
So they got 4 sets of inters before the weekend, an additional inter for practice 3 as well. So this will be, I think, taking down to 2 intermediates left in total for the race tomorrow, along with 1 set of full wet tyres. That might just be enough as well. 1 brand new set, I want to say, as well. They don't have to give any of the inters or wets back. They can use those to their heart's content. Ted, down to you.
Who's pitted now? Verstappen, Sainz, Alonso, Mick, Russell, Lewis Hamilton, all putting on new intermediates. Daniel Ricciardo. Slicks for George.
Russell slicks.
George.
Russell's gone slicks.
In that weather?
I don't know if that's brave or beautiful.
Or brain dead stupid.
Yes. Stone dead cold. And he's on the... And those soft tyres, they are the soft.
Intermediates?
Yeah, Russell's gone out there on C5s.
Oh, look.
Nobody so far. No. Mercedes stopping for Indus.
Alonso asking who's going for...
happy with Inter.
Alonso's happy with Inter, but he's just seen George go out on dry tyres. Let's see what he can do.
Don't be stupid.
Alonso's still in the pit lane, so maybe they are going to change over. But Magnussen's going quick in that first sector. Is that what you're pointing out? Yeah, Magnussen quick as he's got Russell on the line. Russell tried to block him. Magnussen had to go inside line. That might cost him a couple of tenths. And Verstappen is 4 tenths faster in that first sector. A 23.423 as things currently stand on the line. Trying to find the time, trying to find the pace as they come through. Fastest first sector to Verstappen. And this is looking grand here, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah,
So you're going to get 2 laps. So please confirm tyres.
Get the slicks on.
Slicks, okay, slicks.
Russell said get the slicks on. Down to you, Josh.
it happens all the time. I'm getting used to it now with the team radio. But So has been a little, and my phone vibrated and fell off again. But So has been, and Magnussen third.
Magnussen's gone third on a 1:22.960. Verstappen going for pole position number 13 and looking for Sam. And he's a second quicker as we've got a yellow flag.
Russell.
It's Russell. George Russell has spun at turn 2 on those dry tyres and he's damaged part of the rear wing.
Brain dead stupid.
We get a clear there from Megan. Your thoughts, Josh?
Here's a replay, Megan.
I know. It's wet out there on the track. Let's do soft where is dry weather tyres, because that's really going to work out well.
He had zero grip, didn't he, in that first part of the track, and he waxed the rear wing for good measure. Brought out a brief yellow as well, but at least he gave something for the fans. Tell you what, Megan, do you want to know something good? Fernando Alonso, out there on brand new intermediates, he's quick.
Good. Also, do you know the dictionary next to brain dead stupid and it's wearing slicks in wet weather? There's just a little picture of George.
He tried it, didn't he? But Mr. Consistent's going to start 6th as well on the grid. He has finished in the top 5 in every single race so far this season as George Russell. Let's hope he can do that tomorrow as well. FIA statement, turn 9 is involving cars 24 Zhou will be investigated after the session for failing to follow the race director's instructions. As Hamilton second! Lewis Hamilton goes to second! 1:22.891.
That's something we haven't said in
Okay,
a long
Max,
while.
cool the tyres.
But
P1 for now.
the gap is...
Russell's gone off turn 2. Yellows. Russell on slicks.
But there's still 1.2
How much
seconds.
margin do I have?
Around 45 seconds. So that track is now clear, so cool the tyres.
Lewis is
You
good.
should have just waited in the pits. I don't understand.
It's not as simple as that, Max. You
Yeah.
know that. Just focus on the job at hand now.
Lewis is quick out there, but he's still 1.2 seconds off the pace of Verstappen. Verstappen is out-qualifying the field by 1.2 seconds. That's almost comparable with Senna when he out-qualified Prost in 88 in the McLaren by 1.5 seconds. That's insane.
Alonso just started a new lap time.
Josh.
Guess what, Megan? Alonso has been grass tracking at turn 10, off track and continued, and has got a lap time deleted of a 1:41.
All cars ahead of you will have one more lap. So Hamilton is the first car.
Checkered flag is out. Qualifying will now be decided. It's been a very energetic 12 minutes. Sainz is quick in the first sector. Verstappen is quick in the second sector. Fernando Alonso is quick in the first sector.
He's going to get like a
This is going to get it, isn't it? Hamilton is second. Magnus is in the pit lane. And Alonso is quick. Schumacher quick in the second sector. So's Alonso. But Verstappen is going mega quick across the line and takes the checkered flag. It's 1.5 seconds. It's a 1:21.299. Is that good enough for pole? Sainz gets in all out of shape as he approaches the line. Sainz goes second on a 1:22.096. But here comes Fernando Alonso. He's quick in sector 1. He's quick in sector 2. Take an eye to the line. Ignore the timing screens. Fernando Alonso crosses the line. Where is it? Yes! Second place for Fernando! For the first time since the German Grand Prix in 2012, Fernando Alonso starts on the front row of the grid, and it is a brilliant achievement for the 40-year-old. And worth it, wasn't it?
He's on second. He's on the front row of the grid.
I think that's more to Megan than the podium in Qatar. Last year, Verstappen's on pole position, but Alonso's second.
Not bad then, but it was tricky conditions.
That was, yeah, I won't say miles class, but you were on top of that all session. Nice job.
Yeah, well done, mate. Very good effort. Difficult conditions. Alonso P2, Sainz P3.
Let's take a look around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. A 2.7-mile circuit, 14 turns in total. A real challenge for the drivers in both wet and dry conditions. After 2 years away, it really is a fan favourite. Starting the lap through the last chicane, getting close to the World Champions. Open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn 1. Top speed and over 8th gear as well. 280 odd kilometres an hour. Back onto the brakes into turn 1 and 2. 4th gear down to 2nd gear. 85 kilometres an hour through turn 2. 3 and 4 chicane as well. 4th gear, about 190 kilometers an hour. You want to be taken through there. It drops downhill before you go around the casino at 5. 6 and 7, a quick flick as well. 3rd gear, then on the exit, accelerate up. 4th gear, 185 kilometers an hour. Back on the power, open up the DRS once again, reaching over 8th gear, 305 kilometers an hour. Slap on the brakes at turn 8 and 9 as well. 4th gear, 135 kilometers an hour. Build back up again towards the hairpin. 8th gear, 300 kilometers an hour maximum before you'll hit the brakes hard all the way down. 2nd gear, 80 kilometers an hour. Be careful not to lock up the rear tyres and have a spin around. Little kick here, that's turn 11. Little kick on the back straight, that's turn 12, where the 3rd DRS zone is as well. Back down towards the chicane and the Wall of Champions. 330 kilometers an hour, 8th gear. Slam on the brakes. Make sure you get into turn 13, 14 safely. 4th gear. Avoid the Wall of Champions at the exit. Then keep the car towards the right of the screen to get to the line first. And that is a lap of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's time for the return of the Canadian Grand Prix. 70 laps ahead of us for the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix on the man-made island on the Île Notre Dame. This amazing circuit as well, built on the island for the 1967 World Expo. It's 4.361 kilometers in length, and over the years has hosted some absolutely spectacular races. Certainly, the 2022 campaign looks to be another one of those examples. We have so many races, there are so many different positions. How about back in 2019, Perez versus Grosjean, down in the first corner side by side with contact to boot. Hamilton versus Vettel, the famous coming together as well, was down here on the circuit. And also down at turn 13 and 14, past the Wall of Champions, Bottas versus Ricciardo as well last time out. Not exactly the best at attack zones. We've seen a couple better around this circuit as well. Tyre compounds, delighted to tell you it's dry. So it's the C5 red soft, the C4 yellow medium, and the C3 white hard tyre as well. A wet qualifying has given us a very peculiar starting grid from back to front. Charles Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda have grid penalties as well for changing power units. The 9th row of the grid, that sees Nicholas Latifi alongside Lance Stroll. 16th for Sebastian Vettel alongside Pierre Gasly. 15th on the grid, they're all row 7. Row 6 of the grid sees Lando Norris with no time alongside Sergio Perez, followed then by Alexander Albon and Valtteri Bottas. Top 10 results for the first time for Zhou Guanyu, starting 10th. Daniel Ricciardo is 9th. 4th row of the grid, George Russell is 8th. Esteban Ocon starts 7th. Row 3 of the grid, it's an all-house affair, equaling their best from Austria in 2018. Schumacher's best ever grid result 6th alongside Kevin Magnussen. The 2nd row, Lewis Hamilton is 4th. Carlos Sainz starts 3rd. Row 1 for the first time since Germany 2012. Fernando Alonso on the front row and Max Verstappen on pole position for the 13th time. Is it 13th time's a charm, or is it a lucky 13 as well? Carlos Sainz starting 3rd on the grid. Let's just see what he can do. Charles Leclerc starting 19th. It's all sorts of action. It's all sorts of drama. In terms of the pit stop strategies as well, the quickest is a one stop. For those starting on the C4 mediums, they'll stop between laps 22 and 28 for the C3 hard tyres and take it to the end. An alternate one stop for those starting on the soft tyres will to go from lap 1 until 17 or 22, and then take the C3 tyres from 17 to 22 all the way to lap 70. For the two-stopper, the C4 mediums as well would be the starting tyre going to lap 15 or 20, going on to then the C3 hard tyres from lap 15 to 20 until lap 50 to 58, and then from lap 50 to 58 all the way to lap 70, taking the C5 soft tyre. The alternate strategy is favoured, but everybody believes it'll be a one-stopper with the medium to hard being the best compound of tyres as well. We'll have a full host of commentators shortly as well. Father's Day once again providing the entertainment, but I'm delighted to say that hopefully in the pit lane will be Josh Plays, and we will hear from him ever so shortly. And Josh Plays now joins us up here in the commentary box. Afternoon, Josh. Can you hear us? We're having a bit of tech problems, but hopefully you can, as it's all eyes on deck as we start the parade lap here in Canada. Who is going to win here today? Good morning, Josh. Hello.
I really want to say Alonso, but I've got Verstappen to win.
You've got Max Verstappen to win, have you?
Yes.
Brave call. Interesting call. I'd argue Alonso, but I know Megan is going to have that case in a few moments' time as well, as the cars go on their formation lap then around this circuit. You can see them going down the bottom there. Max Verstappen already at turns 6 and 7. They don't hang around here in Montreal as well. We'll have the team radio and everything else fully in effect as, well, Josh, half the cars are still on the starting grid, but Verstappen's already at turns 7 and 8. That's not exactly a good calling situation as well. He's taking too much of the tyre pressures, it seems. And, well, they're already round the track, and we've got cars in all three sectors. Verstappen's just gone and hasn't backed the pack up. Let's hear from Fernando.
Let's go, baby. Let's get some good points.
Let's go, baby. Let's get some good points. Are you Fernando, or you said you were Max, though, weren't you? Josh?
Yep.
Technical problems with Josh then, as they come through. Lap 1 of 70. That's where we're going to see coming shortly. Get your questions in. We're on hashtag JB Motorsports. Get in touch on the YouTube chat as well as they come to the grid. Previous winners in Canada, Hamilton, Vettel, Hamilton as well. So they're coming to the line. Lewis Hamilton then will form up fourth on the grid as we're on the onboard with him as they come through. As we're still waiting on commentators. It's not really fantastic if neither of them turn up at the start here for the procedure of lights out. But Max Verstappen then just taken to the grid in pole position. The field now bunched up. The Alphas are on their way as they come through. Look, and Max Verstappen has actually been told by his engineer to calm it down. I think this is the radio.
Okay, formation lap procedure.
Yeah, formation lap procedure.
For the dummy launch.
Yeah, so just basically keep it in as the tail enders line up. Yuki Tsunoda is 20th at the moment and will come into the grid position along with Charles Leclerc. The start procedure is seconds away. Leclerc 19th. We've got out of position Red Bulls, we've got out of position Ferraris, we've got Fernando Alonso starting second on the grid. This really is going to be a fantastic Canadian Grand Prix. The cars are in place. They are coming to the line. The start procedure is about to get underway for the 2022 Grand Prix. We have 3 lights. We have 4 in Montreal, Canada. Action! And it's a good start from Alonso, but Hamilton's got the better getaway down towards turn 1. Alonso will take second position but gets tagged by Hamilton. That allows Sainz to try and come round the outside. It's a good start from Verstappen. Alonso gets away well, and now look at that. That's Kevin Magnussen trying to go right around the outside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 3 and 4. It was a clean start. It was a good start, but most importantly, Megan, they've all gone through cleanly so far.
It's a shame that Alonso didn't manage to get there. It's just like that.
Yeah.
That Alonso didn't manage to get through on Verstappen, and I don't know where that is.
Yeah. Look, an absolutely tremendous start as the field come through as well. Verstappen leads, Alonso is second. We'll open up the big driver tracker and introduce Josh Plays as they come through. Damaged front wing all the way coming from the inside of Mick Schumacher there, Megan. And Russell sends it up the inside line as well. But that was a problem there, Megan, and here is a Haas of Schumacher with a damaged wing.
I wonder how that happened.
Very strange start as they come down. Perez has made his way up into 12th position. He started down in 13th as Danny Ricciardo goes defensive as well. Into the braking zone, trying to stop Zhou Guanyu going through. And Zhou, that was Zhou Guanyu. Did he cut the corner? I think it was.
What's that?
That's Bottas going slow. And Bottas slow, dust getting kicked up everywhere.
I saw something on the track. I think it might have been a visor, I'm not sure.
So already this early in the race? Could be from a previous support race. We'll keep an eye on that. What a start though, Josh. What did you make of it?
Yeah, good start. It's a track service slippery in track sector 15, which is the front straight.
Good start so far then as they come through here. Fernando Alonso maintaining second position, as we know he has as well. And again, Ocon made a place at the start, so did Russell. Schumacher lost 2, but he had damage, and there it is, Megan. That's Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen with damage to the front wing as well.
What is that keeps falling?
And he's going to have to pit now. He's got the black and orange flag.
Oh, I thought I saw something back there.
You're right. Track surface slippery, sector 15, Megan, and you are correct.
What?
That is down the start-finish straight. So you are correct. Something was on the circuit at the back half of the track as well.
Okay, for some reason, I've just seen the screen they're presenting, and it's for some reason it's showing a yellow flag on the track.
They've got green at the moment so far as Carlos Sainz tries to get through.
It must be a glitch for the thing.
Has to be a glitch. Surely will be a glitch. I don't see why.
Because nothing is showing yellow apart from the screen.
Yeah, everything's okay so far. Verstappen with the fastest lap. He's already got 1.6 seconds to Fernando Alonso as this race now enters lap 3. Verstappen leads, Alonso second, Sainz third, Hamilton fourth, Magnussen fifth, Ocon 6th, Russell 7th, Schumacher in 8th. Let's take a look at the start.
Right, so it was... I think it's quite a poor start for Alonso, actually, though it was an amazing start for Sainz, mainly, because he almost got ahead of Alonso, though the corner definitely cut him off from that part. Going wide there from, it looks like Schumacher going... Was it Schumacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Schumacher going wide, as well as Bottas and Zhou.
That's Perez.
Nice and disciplined.
Latifi's dropped down to 20th, Megan, as well, from his starting position of 18th. And this was Hamilton, and it was the car of Hamilton and Magnussen that has put Magnussen with some damage. And this, Megan, is what you saw from Valtteri Bottas dropping off at sector 15, turns in, locks up, goes across the bollards. And did he collect? Yeah, he knocked the bollard off at the last corner. That's what you saw flying across the track, Meg. So good eye there. As Carlos Sainz with the DRS active pulls to the inside line and takes second position away from Fernando Alonso.
That's where I leave.
As well as Fernando comes through as well, desperately trying to hold their position to the back half of the circuit. Josh, good start so far, but how long can Magnussen continue out there with his car like that? Let's listen.
Okay, Kev, we see some small front wing damage, but there's very little effect, so it's okay for us.
So little of Ocon.
Okay, mate, it looks like Magnussen has a damaged front wing.
Yeah, I can see it's hanging off.
Yeah, copy that.
Okay, Kev, we see some...
DRS and
If it was easy, I think it in the face, huh?
You think it would come off and hit us in the face, so they're calling for it to change, Josh, and I think they're right. That should be changed. It's a bit dangerous out there. If it flies off, it could easily hit a driver in the face.
Yeah, and just having a look at race control, turn 14 incident involving Bottas.
You're a bit quiet. You're a bit quiet as we go down to 10.
Yeah, hi Crofty Martin, everyone. That's a crucial move for Carlos Sainz to make his strategy work today. Already 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen. He'll see if he's got any pace in his pocket to get after the Dutchman. Gasly, after losing so many places at the start, has got a developing technical problem. They've asked him to lift off at the end of the straight, some lift and coast already to save this car while managing a technical issue for Pierre Gasly.
Thanks, Ted. Josh, what you got for us?
Yeah, Bottas has been noted for failing to follow race director's instructions. Maybe he, because he hit the bollard and it went onto the track, could have gone a little bit left and a little bit more slower, so I'm guessing that's why he's been noted.
So that is the situation with Bottas at the moment. Verstappen leads the race as well. He's got 3.2 seconds out to Sainz. Carlos Sainz running in second position, starting his best opportunity right now for Ferrari to maybe win a Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton right up behind Fernando Alonso as more carbon fibre dust gets springed up as well for around the track. But it's a good start right now as Alonso has 7 tenths to Hamilton, but Hamilton is closing that gap down as well throughout this race, as we've still got the pit lane radio open if we need it. But still, good start so far. Sainz second, Alonso third, Hamilton is fourth, Magnussen P5, 2.9 seconds separating them at the moment. As you can see with the driver tracker, the entire field separated by over 20 seconds as Magnussen's going to get passed by George Russell up the inside of the hairpin. A sweet move, Karun.
On wing, I'm amazed Haas think there's no loss in performance because it is literally hanging off there, and the end plate is a very sensitive part of the car, so perhaps just giving Kevin a bit of confidence. What I was listening to was Carlos Sainz's radio. The reason he hasn't scampered off is...
It's because he's got left front graining.
I thought the audio was going to come in, but yeah, he's been complaining on more than one occasion that he's got graining, and Alonso is in the DRS. Alpine have said to Alonso, just keep going with the DRS. Having said that, Sainz has just done the fastest lap of the race.
Thanks, Karun. He's down at race control in London as well as they come through. Josh?
Black and orange flag for Magnussen as we see Vettel, Gasly in the pit lane, but yes, a black and white flag for Bottas for failing to follow race director's instructions. So we should see Magnussen come in the next lap or
You might
two.
turn up a little bit because we can barely hear you on our side as well as they come through. Okay, so that's the information then from the stewards about this particular matter. As things currently stand, this is a replay of Zhou Guan Yu, and let's hear from besides. Yeah, black and white flag for Bottas, failing to follow race director's instructions, as you said. Black and orange flag for Magnussen as well. This was Magnussen getting passed by George Russell on the inside as well at the hairpin. Lovely move. Here's Charles Leclerc, 15th at the moment, as he continues his attack up throughout the field. Now, looks okay to me, with his front wing flapping away on the inside of the track as well, just trying to hold the advantage, trying to hold the slipstream. Sainz does the fastest lap of the race as Esteban Ocon is next up to attack Kevin Magnussen with the DRS down towards turn number 1. Can he have a little look at the inside? No, but Magnussen's going to have to box. He's got that light on, which says, that's it, son. You can't continue racing out there with the car in that state. You must pit, and you must change your front wing as well, unless they want to hold it.
Last lap for Sainz, a 17.9. Gap, 2.7.
Unless they want to hold it, Josh, until the first pit stop, which if they're on a one-stopper, will be lap 22. That's a long way to take it, though.
Yeah, I don't... FIA won't be happy with that. Oh, Gasly.
Whoa, Gasly! Did he have to go through the pit lane? Yes, he did. So that's why Pierre Gasly is down in 20th position. Vettel's come in to change over to hard tyres. Gasly too, but he nearly ran into the back of one of the other cars out there on the circuit. That was abysmal stuff right there.
Yeah, that was Aston Martin.
It would have been Lance Stroll.
Okay, Kev, we have been given a black and orange flag, so we have to pit to change this front wing.
So into the pit lane then will come Magnussen this lap. A surprise is held on this long as for Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Magnussen does pit this lap. He's going to change over then, presumably to a two-stop strategy between that 15 as well. What tyre did he start on, Josh? Was he out there on the mediums? Yes, he was.
Okay, Kev, we have been given a black and orange flag, so we have to pit to change this front wing.
Yeah, and they're putting on, look, the wings get changed over as well. They're putting on a brand new set of hard compound tyre. So they've changed Magnussen now to a two-stopper. They'll take those to around about lap 20 and then do another lap as well, but to lap 50. So they're taking these way, way into the race and trying to hope for a safety car to maybe get back on. Magnussen has, interestingly enough, 3 brand new sets of soft red C5 tyre compounds because it was a wet qualifying yesterday. So he's got a lot of action to go through as well, as they're back up into position. Verstappen with that fastest time of 1:17.88. Oh, that's a Red Bull slow! And it's Sergio Perez! Sergio Perez is stopping! Gearbox has failed!
Oh.
And Sergio Perez is out of the Canadian Grand Prix! A bad qualifying after crashing and a bad race!
So, race picture, Verstappen leading 3 seconds on Sainz, Alonso and Lewis. Lewis pace 18.6.
Power unit issue!
Yeah. I'm stuck in gear.
So it's
He's stuck in third. This will be a virtual safety car at the least to get that car, but because it might be stuck in gear, they might have to bring a tractor out. It might be a full-on safety car. A Sergio Perez, and it's a virtual. Yeah, I've got it, Josh. Virtual safety car is out on the circuit, and some of them lock up as well as they get the news. Virtual safety car deployed. No sign of the full one yet as they come through. We've got our eyes on up here in the comms box as well. But Josh, in a day where Red Bull needed maximum points with Leclerc having problems, it's Perez who hit trouble in quali, and he's out of the race on lap 9.
Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate for Perez. Here's a replay of it just cutting out.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's listen.
It's the exit of turn 7.
Oh, it just died on him.
That's a surely that's a transmission problem.
Yeah, transmission gearbox problem. It's not power unit.
That sounds more like a transmission problem to me than an engine problem.
Yeah, that's gearbox. The gearbox was in 4th, and it just dramatically shifted down to 5th, and that's it. And the fans either delighted or can't believe it. Looks like we're going to cover it with the virtual safety car, though, as the car can be recovered. It's not stuck in gear, at least. Verstappen is coming into the pit lane. Max Verstappen pitting on lap 9 of this race. That is incredibly early, Ted Kravitz.
The stop looks like Red Bull are coming out as well. Yeah, Verstappen straight in front of me. It's too good an opportunity to miss, especially as these tyres seem to be going off quite quickly. Vettel's stop was a planned stop, so his tyres were going off. Obviously, the top cars there, Lewis Hamilton as well. He's also in, but nothing from George Russell, nothing from the other cars as well. We got some other people. It's a bit too early for some people, Crofty, but if you're in trouble with your tyres, it's worth coming in now. Save you 10 seconds.
VSC, box and pit confirm, please. Box, pit confirm under VSC.
Okay.
And Verstappen's dropped down to 3rd. He's put on the hard compound tyres. Ted said it's because the tyres are gripping away as well. So Alonso goes to 2nd, 1.9 ahead of, behind Sainz. Sainz now leads, but Josh, a free pit stop for Verstappen. That has really helped them. And a free pit stop for Red Bull. Latifi's coming as well as a Sonoda. So a free pit stop under the VSC. That saves them all a trip, but now they're on the alternate strategy. There's no marketing for this on the strategy guide. They're all now flying by the seat of the pants.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what the strategies play out later on. It looks like the first all safety car will be ending shortly as the car is nearly behind the barriers.
Just about behind as well as Verstappen. Now, we're going to have to pass Alonso again. Alonso could be smart here.
Verstappen and Hamilton, they pitted for hard, and Tsunoda behind us.
And virtual safety car is ending soon, so we're going to go green shortly. We'll have to wait until it comes up on the monitor, though, rather than the timer screen, so they're not that too far behind. Leclerc 13th at the moment, fighting his way back from 19th on this grid. Let's see what he can do. Virtual safety car is in. We are back to green flag running here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Sainz leads as we start lap 11. Let's hear from Fernando Alonso.
Hamilton lost places.
He came out behind Esteban.
So we know what to do now.
Presumably, Josh, tell Esteban to defend like a lion, like he did last. Where was it? Was it Hungary? Qatar even. Tell Esteban to defend like a lion.
Yep. Another defend like a lion 2.0.
Mainly for Esteban as well to try and hold on the gaps in this race. So this is good news for Fernando.
Get it out four, and just keep the braking up. We want the fronts not to drop anymore.
A podium is definitely possible for Fernando Alonso here today, and they know it as well. They're going to try and keep that gap and keep that advantage. It's lap 11 of 70. Sergio Perez is out at the Canadian Grand Prix if you're just joining us. And there's all sorts of mayhem going on here as well. Sainz leads, but he's got a 2.4 second lead. Here comes, let's listen to Sainz radio.
Maximum push now, 50 laps here. Copy.
Maximum push, 15 laps. Josh, that takes us right in the middle of the one-stopper. So Ferrari are doing a one-stop race, it looks like, as he starts on the medium compound tyre.
That will be interesting, and as Hamilton goes round the outside into the final chicane, tries to, but Ocon defending like a lion once again.
Absolutely brilliant. Hamilton going to have to try again with DRS down to turn 1, pulls to the inside line, but it becomes the outside to 1.
He lost 4 seconds there, so he's fighting with
it.
Vettel now. There are 4 in front. Let's go get them.
And Lewis Hamilton moves up to 5th place. Ocon down to 6th. That's not helped out Fernando Alonso at all. And Esteban just looked like he let him through. What was that defending from a Grand Prix winner, Esteban? That was pretty weak in my opinion.
Yeah, that was pretty weak indeed, as we see a drone cam, it looks like, or a cable cam.
I think it's drone, it looks like, because we see it may be drone actually, for it's stationary as well as they come through. As Verstappen fastest sector 1, 21.636 as well. As I've got to shut that off before we get more notifications from Facebook, as this is a replay. Lovely from Hamilton, Josh, right round the outside of Ocon, and even a little lock-up for the 7-time world champion, it seems.
Yeah, as we come back to live pictures now on board with one of the alphas of Zhou Guanyu.
Behind you, Albon is holding up Bottas, Lando and Leclerc, so the opportunities are with the cars ahead.
Yeah, looks like it as well as they cut through. DRS open then for Zhou Guanyu, chasing after Mick Schumacher. Schumacher currently in his best ever position in Formula 1. He's P7 as things stand. How like his father Michael as they come through. Verstappen on a 1:17.370, fastest lap of the race so far as they come through. Christian Horner's on the pit wall.
Yeah, we think he's obviously lost drive. We think it's a gearbox issue, but obviously need the car back. So really disappointing for Checo because I think he could have been very quick out there today.
It's a 4th mechanical retirement of the season. How much concern over your other car do you have at the moment?
Well, of course, it's always a concern, but we've just got to get our heads down now and do the best we can with Max. So it's obviously a different strategy to the 2 cars ahead. So we'll be interested to see how that pans out.
And what was he saying about the
Okay,
tyres?
good job.
Is this
Ocon's the
heading
car
towards
ahead
a
now, so let's
two-stopper, do
reel
you
him in
think,
and get some
Christian?
DRS off him.
It could well be, particularly for us. It really depends how the deg is over the next 10 or so laps. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Christian, thanks ever so much.
Christian Horner back on the pit wall then. And by the way, Sky have received several thousand Ofcom complaints about the fact that they're biasing Red Bull and nobody else getting a turn. Next time out at the British Grand Prix, you'll be delighted to be told it's actually going to be Gunter Steiner, not Christian Horner, as Christian's going to be with Channel 4. Ha 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 ha. Moves going on though. Albon has up to 10th position. Bottas to 11th. Leclerc to 12th. Norris is down into 13th place as well, as Zhou is going out to Schumacher. Verstappen is trying to catch up to Fernando Alonso, but the gap is too much. This Canadian Grand Prix is starting to heat up and is starting to play into a fantastic factor as to what could come next, Josh.
As we see Leclerc getting very close to the wall, but that...
Okay, as they come through, Sainz ahead of Alonso and Verstappen 3rd, Russell 4th. Hamilton is in 5th position at the moment as well as the action continues to rage on. So they come through. Struggling to hear you a little bit today, Josh. Sorry about that.
That's weird. Is that the volume that I normally have it at?
Check Discord. Reckon that's changed you up a bit because it was struggling to hear you today. As Leclerc holding in as well. He's now P12, desperately trying to get ahead and find positions. Sainz, Alonso, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Ocon 6th. But it's the battle for 10th we're watching between Albon, Bottas, Leclerc and Norris. As Leclerc starts to come through, he's looking for a little look on the inside of Valtteri Bottas. It's turn 13 and 14. He can't find that position as well. Let's hear from George Russell. Answer came there, none.
Understood. So Russell
wants to go to the alternate plan, and that would be a 2-stopper race as well, which would see him go until lap 15 on these tyres, which is now 15 to 20 for those starting on the medium tyres. The pit stop strategy now is opened for those starting on the mediums who want a 2-stopper to take it from lap 15 to 20. The window's open and take a C3 hard tyre compound up until lap 50 to 58, then take the C5 softs all the way to the end as Verstappen, Josh, is all over the back of Fernando Alonso. Alonso is a difficult one to get past, but he might just do it now with the DRS open. Alonso going to try and go not even a remotely defensive. Verstappen goes to second. Fernando tries to get the cut back, but this is looking a bit pathetic today. No one wants to defend. What on earth's going on?
I believe that it's a strategy in Alonso's race plan. He's talking about it.
So get behind still 2.7.
Just let me focus on the driving. You think about the strategy.
Understood.
Keeps to the plan then, says Russell. We can hear it now, Josh, by the way, perfectly, as well as they come through. As again, here comes Valtteri Bottas, trying to have it run on Alexander Albon, down towards turn one. Bottas looks to the inside, locks up, nearly runs off the track, and Leclerc can smell blood on the back of that Alfa Romeo. Same Ferrari power unit as well, so let's hope it doesn't fail. Oh, 2 seconds down to Ted.
Not the only one, he's not the only one, Martin. I think Alonso's starting to lose grip quite considerably on his tyres. I think they're thinking about a stop on the Alpine pit wall. We'll let you know if it happens the next lap or two. Russell has responded to Hamilton, hasn't he? Although just on the last lap, Hamilton again closing up on him. So that's very, very tight. We'll see what happens with Hamilton potentially getting very, very close to Russell. And Zhou Guanyu is trying his luck on Mick Schumacher, much quicker behind in the Sauber than the Haas in P7. So there might be a fight there
no more
soon.
I'll let you know if that changes.
That's Ocon then on the radios that come through. Seriously, whoever's in charge of the radio and TV production today is doing an absolutely stupid job as they come through with this one. Albon then in 10th position, Bottas 11th, Leclerc 12th. Here comes Bottas once again then. Bottas trying to have a slipstream run down the back straight away towards turn 13 and 14 as well. Looks like the outside of Albon, and that's going to be a brave move. Albon shuts the door. Valtteri tried that 2 years ago on Daniel Ricciardo, and it didn't work then. It's going to give the advantage to Charles Leclerc as they head down the start-finish straight towards turn one, and I don't think it's made a good position either as they come through. And I don't know what the TV direction was with the start lights, but it was 3 camera angles in 5 lights. It was abysmal, and honestly the coverage has been shocking this weekend, absolutely shocking.
Yeah, and Albon got really, really close to the wall of champions, like literally touching it as we go through turn 7.
It is a stable camera down at turn 7 that we just looked at from the off-board, and it is a swivel camera as well, so that's quite an interesting thing to look at. Leclerc desperately trying to close in that gap. Bottas was too slow through there, and Leclerc taking a bit too much curb as well. It's lap 17 of 70, 53 laps to go, and here comes the Bottas once again at the hairpin at turn 10, trying to look around the outside, almost loses an end plate on his front wing to the back of that Williams. Bottas is going to have the DRS as well as he hurtles down, pulls to the outside line. Leclerc's got double the DRS in many respects, but he can't make a way through, can't find a way through. Bottas round the outside at the chicane, and he's taken him. Brilliant move from Valtteri Bottas, and now that's going to put Albon on the back foot to Leclerc as he pulls to the inside line, running down towards turn 1. Leclerc breaks into 11th position, and Latifi.
How are the tyres and how's the balance?
It's okay, a little bit of front graining.
Okay, understood.
That's Alonso complaining about the front grading, but a great move then throughout this race as they go through. Leclerc to 11th place, Albon to 12th, and Latifi, by the way, has dropped back behind Magnussen again. As this is a replay, Josh.
Switch around there from Bottas on the hairpin at turn 10, going round the outside through the little kink of turn 12. And coming round the outside, and here's another replay of
Leclerc.
A Ferrari of Leclerc going round the inside into turn 1, going round, and an amazing moves from both of them.
Good moves from everyone going on today, and here's another one as this, I believe, will be Zhou Guanyu on the back of Mick Schumacher. So Zhou's going to try and make a position somewhere. Mick is holding off 7th position as things currently stand. Let's hear from the race leader.
Still on plan 8. The looks better than expected. Lower deck.
Some good news.
And that's the race leader then. Some good news. Degradation looks good. Sainz then on course to win for the first time in his Formula 1 career. And into the pit lane comes Alexander Albon. Josh is watching it. What tyres he got on, Josh?
Albon has got the hards on, I believe, just waiting for the confirmation.
And that will be one of 2 sets. Yep. Yeah, so one of 2 new sets. So he's doing a 2-stopper then, Josh. On his lap 17 to 9:23. He's either on a 1-stopper or a 2-stopper. They do overlap, and it's hard to tell as Zhou's going to go down the inside line, completely out of position. And that was, I think, a problem, and it is a problem for Schumacher. Schumacher's got a problem. Zhou went through. I thought it was an unusual part of the track, and Mick Schumacher has stopped, and another points-paying position has come to a crawling halt.
The looks better than expected. Lower deck.
Copy.
Exactly where Sergio Perez stopped, Mick Schumacher has stopped, and he's out. And the virtual safety car gets deployed at the perfect timing, though, Josh, for George Russell. Perfect stop, and he's not going to lose a position as Ocon pits too.
Amazing time for Mercedes and Alpine as the virtual safety car comes out. And that corner's going to become a car park.
It might just become an interesting factor because, look at that, Russell was in the pit lane, but the top 4 have gone through. Now, Hamilton could have taken the lead here, but Hamilton has stopped. He's put on hard compound tyre, so has Verstappen, but Sainz and Alonso haven't stopped in this race yet. They could have got a free pit stop. They probably won't now as the virtual safety car is deployed. But Mick Schumacher is out of the Grand Prix.
Okay, we've got Schumacher stopped, same place, turn 8 and 9. VSC window is open.
Perfect as well. As they haven't got the tyres ready for Lando Norris. Lando with a poor stop from McLaren. What was it? I didn't even show us. 14 seconds. What was McLaren thinking? Ted?
But it was a disastrously slow stop for Lando Norris. He was stacking. They were effectively stacking. I don't think the tyres were ready for Lando. He lost about 6 or 7 or 8 seconds. Now we got another Ferrari. The other Ferrari coming in. Presumably that's the leader, Sainz.
Charles Leclerc stayed out to get some track position.
This is Schumacher.
And this is Mick Schumacher. So it was nothing to do with the overtake. It was proper mechanical. Yeah.
So Josh, he's not there. Power unit failed then as well. Let's hear from Schumacher.
Sorry, man. You were on it.
He was driving well, wasn't he?
What has that man got to do to score a point in Formula 1? I feel so sorry for him as Carlos Sainz.
Sorry, man. You were on it.
Green flag and away we go. Verstappen takes the lead. Alonso goes second. Sainz goes into third. And he comes out as we go back to green, but with a brand new set of high compound tyre just ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So now it swings back in the advantage of Verstappen to win this Grand Prix. The earliest stop has really helped as Josh Blaze is back in the box. So we're back to green now as he comes in. Hamilton right behind Sainz and it's going to gaining. Can't make their way through there at the moment though, Josh.
Yep, don't mind me pressing the mute button by accident. As lap 21 of 70 now going, I believe that is Hamilton chasing down Sainz going round turns 10, 11, coming up to turn 12.
And Lewis is going to have the DRS as well as he opens it up down.
To work on the fronts as much as you can. Bit more brake temp, bit more front tyre temp.
DRS.
VSC ending, go one, get some brake temp.
DRS is open for Lewis Hamilton down the start-finish straight as he tries to get ahead of Carlos Sainz as well. Leclerc has made a position up to 8th now as well. Started 19th, making his way throughout the field as well, trying to have the advantage in this Grand Prix as he's chasing down Valtteri Bottas, the next driver out there on the circuit as well. And that is Leclerc making a move on Bottas round the outside of the chicane. A fantastic move from Leclerc and makes the position. So a good move and a good stuff going on then here in the Canadian Grand Prix. Alonso there on those medium compound tyres. He's taking this as long as he possibly can, but he needs to pit. And he's missed 2 now. What on earth are Alpine playing at? They should have pitted under both the virtual safety cars. They haven't. They're about to be swamped by Sainz and Hamilton.
So race situation, Alonso, Sainz and Lewis together, 10 seconds ahead of you.
And
Sainz on an outlap on hard.
And Alonso is too far back now as well. He's not going to have the advantage. Sainz with the DRS is going to pull to the inside line. Alonso doesn't even defend. Sainz takes second position here in the Canadian Grand Prix and sets after Max Verstappen, who is 10 seconds up the road. It's game on for the Canadian Grand Prix between Verstappen and Sainz, and now Hamilton is going after Fernando Alonso as well. Alonso involved in the fight, but for how much longer? Fingers crossed he can actually keep in with this and doesn't drop away. This is the stop, however, Josh, for the McLaren, and it was just an absolute mess. No tyres to put on at all. 7 seconds. That was Norris, and that was Ricciardo's bad stop, and then Norris was just behind him as well. They had no tyres whatsoever. What a stupid thing for McLaren.
So that's Bottas car in front. Bottas car in front, same age hard as you.
Yeah, what a stupid move, Josh. Look at that. 14 seconds, stationary, no tyres. They're having committee meetings.
I believe they put a medium tyre on instead, and Leclerc. Ooh,
great move for Bottas.
A bit after that move, a bit snaky on the exit of turn 14.
And Lewis is on the back of Fernando Alonso now as well, as Alonso might now go defensive. He's looking in his wing mirrors to see where Lewis is as well. Hamilton dives to the inside line with the DRS as well. Down the back straightaway towards turn 13. And Lewis Hamilton makes the move way before the chicane at the Champions Wall as well. Alonso now going to trail him for a couple of laps. But Alonso hasn't yet stopped in this Grand Prix. He's gone 24 laps without changing tyres. We've had 2 virtual safety cars in that time. Schumacher out once again whilst in the points retiring. And Sergio Perez in 20th position as well, retiring earlier on in the race. Here's Valtteri Bottas. No, here's Zhou Guanyu trying to go around the outside of Lance Stroll in 9th position. So this is Zhou trying to go against the Aston for a more points paid position. Yuki Tsunoda is just at the end of them as well. Zhou tries to go on the outside. Stroll, who is a bit of a ridiculous driver at the moment, is defending the inside line quite well there. But how long until Stroll crashes? I've got lap 27. What have you got, Josh, in the pool?
No idea, but what's that Megan says? Brain dead stupid, maybe?
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I would describe him half the time as well. I'd agree with that comment, 110% as well. In fact, I don't think half the drivers in Formula 1 these days deserve to be here. Let's hear from Zhou.
We don't have enough speed.
You're doing very good, Joe. Keep pressure high, just keep pressure high.
So Zhou Guanyu then taking over some more pressure, taking over some more time as well.
We don't have enough speed.
You're doing very good, Joe. Keep pressure high, just keep pressure high.
Yeah, no, and a lock up from Zhou into the hairpin as well, as that's going to lose him time and allow Yuki Tsunoda to get back up on him as well as they head down the back straight away on the run to out of 12, the little kink, towards 13 and 14, the chicane area as well. Long DRS here, of course. 3 long straights here in Canada, all of them with the DRS. Start line, back straight away, and the run between turns 7 and 8 as well. Zhou can't find the move, can't find the positions as they come through. Let's give you some track facts as well. Josh is still in the box, but give you the track stats as well. It's easier to keep an eye on the box. Oh no, now he's back. You pick your moments, Josh. You pick your moments.
I was always here.
As they come through, Verstappen leads. And
okay, so car behind now, Sainz. Gap 9.4. He has been told he's going to the end, so you are free to push, Max. Free to push.
How many lengths he has to do on that tyre?
50.
24.687 at the moment for Verstappen, fastest middle sector, and he has got the fastest lap of this race so far as they hurtle down. And this is turning into an absolute barnstorming Grand Prix here in Montreal. Swings it back round out of turn number 10. Kink at 11. And Stroll's going to come on under pressure now. Zhou's got the DRS, but can an Alfa Romeo actually push to try and get through on Stroll? Not even looking at his mirrors, Lance, until the last moment, just to double check for the braking zone and turning in. It's not changed over that much, so still hold the position and, yeah, still hold the advantage here on lap 26 of 70. 45 laps to go. No safety car just yet in this race, which I'm finding very surprising.
Okay, Valtteri, so we are sticking to plan A. Leclerc ahead is on the same strategy.
We've had 13 safety car appearances in at the Circuit Villeneuve since 1997. And of course, the first ever safety car was deployed here back in 1973 at the Canadian Grand Prix at Montello Park as well, back in the day. It was a Porsche 973, I believe, and he picked up the wrong car. And the race result took about 3 hours after the end of the race to find out who had won. So talk about bad situations. Ted,
just talking about Alpine, you know, a lot of us are suffering from hay fever at the moment and aversion to pollen. I think Fernando Alonso's got pit fever and aversion to pit stops because he's had 2 offers now of a virtual safety car and hasn't taken either of them. Is okay on the tyres, I suppose, but is doing 119s, whereas Hamilton in front 117s, Russell behind him 117s as well. So I don't know what they're waiting for. Another virtual safety car, perhaps for a cheap pit stop. He's holding his own, but Russell is just eating into his lead. If he stops now, he'll come out around his teammate, Esteban Ocon, will Alonso. But they're just going to have to stop. It looks like, Martin, they're just going to have to stop under normal time and lose 18 seconds rather than lose only 8 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to just pit under green, and that's going to really affect them, Josh, as well, because they should have taken the virtual safety car, and they're losing time, and they're closing back into the clutches now as well of Russell. Just 2.7 seconds separating them now as well. It's not working out there for Fernando. I don't know what Alpine are on, but it's more than wacky-backy, I think. It's ridiculous that they've left them out so long. Has Ocon pitted in this race? Yes, he has. So Ocon's done it. Why isn't Fernando? Why are they prioritising Esteban over Fernando? So bizarre.
No idea, but Charles Leclerc right on the back of Esteban Ocon going down the back straight.
Your volume is zigzagging a lot today. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know what it is as well. And SHT says Alonso is pulling away from Hamilton. He is at the moment, but right now, Charles Leclerc, who started this race 19th on the grid due to an engine penalty as well, is now right out behind Esteban Ocon for battle for 6th position as well. Leclerc's not out of this one just yet as well. Trying to get a new engine, of course, for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. Powerful circuit, hard abrasive circuit, needs it and might just have it as well. As they swing through turns 3 and 4. Is Esteban going to block and try and defend Fernando for a bit longer from Charles, or is this just Charles taking his time, not letting the tyres be killed off, and not stressing the engine, of course?
I think so, as we see them going down towards the car park. I think the new name is of turn 8 and 9, going up towards the hairpin at 10. Such a hard braking zone. Turns 10 at the hairpin. I have overshot it, and Alonso finally box.
Well, that's just taken 29 laps of this race. They've gone completely behind the schedule. They don't know, Ted.
Safety car, but trying to do the one stop. They might still do the one stop. You never know. Everybody else, I would think, have to stop again. Fernando comes in, hits his mark. It's the hard tyre. So how long does this hard tyre can go? So will it just go to the end from here? Probably. Will it go to the end from the other people who put it on? Even ones at the second safety car? It's probably not. So Alonso going long now on these hard tyres. Good luck to him.
I think actually, Josh, what he's banging on here is the fact that, look, Esteban's held up Charles Leclerc. Now Alonso can now get past Leclerc and then get past Esteban. So it puts him into 5th position again. Then he's right in the back of the tail leaders, and Alonso can then change over later onto the soft tyres.
Yeah, no, Fernando's not. I don't have the grip. I just don't have the grip in exit. It's so bad.
Okay, but
there's no traction at all.
Yeah, we spotted that.
So Charles Leclerc's struggling out there, Josh, and he's on the hard compound tyre as well. So what's the right tyre to be on? Is it the hards, is it the softs, or is it the mediums? Track temperature is at 41 degrees, air temperature 21. So it is warm out there, but no one's finding the right times. This is like stick on a set of tyres and cross your fingers.
Yeah, I think the best tyre currently is the hard tyre. I'm feeling a bit of deja vu. Leclerc said, "It's so bad." Is he referencing to Albon with a "George, you're so bad"?
Possibly. Doubt it, as it comes through as well. Out of the last corner, and nearly losing into the wall there was Charles Leclerc. as they fly through. Verstappen has an 8.2 second lead now to Carlos Sainz in second.
It's a left front, still the limitation for now.
Copy. Okay, Daniel, so we're thinking plan A, suggest green shape 2. You'll need to focus on the release of brakes to avoid rear locking with that, green shape 2.
Plan A is a one-stopper, so that's going to be a brave call. What tyres is Ricciardo currently on? I can't see. I know you can, Josh.
Is on hards 10 laps.
So he's going to go a one-stopper. He's going to try and take these to the end of the race. He picked lap 20 as well, so he might actually be on as well for the one-stopper to lap 70. So we'll keep an eye on that. In that section of the stop, it is scheduled to the end of the race. Only a two-stopper. We'll take hard from lap 15-20, then soft. So we're going to have to wait, really, until lap 50 to 58 for the two-stopper to open up and see who's going to jump and who's going to do the next call of things. It's getting awfully chaotic here as Fernando Alonso is chasing down 2.6 seconds now to Leclerc, and Esteban Ocon has gained 0.8 of a second to the back of Charles Leclerc. So this is actually working out well for Alpine at the moment with some good points, but they want a podium. Leclerc, though, at 13 places, clearly the biggest winner, but Stroll up 8, as this is Zhou Guanyu trying to battle with Valtteri Bottas, with Lance Stroll over 9th position.
Stroll in the points, which is good as he's Canadian, and Latifi's got a blue flag, the other Canadian.
Well, just about time. That's only taken 31 laps. There's 40 to go, so we're approaching half distance of this Canadian Grand Prix. It is flying by. It's been on for 45 minutes now. We've been green flag here as they swing back, as, again, Leclerc can't find a way through. Down on Esteban Ocon, and that's going to be the situation and the time, as I'm sick of my watch buzzing as well, with all these Twitter notifications coming through from the teams. He can't think clear enough as well when it's one
Turn
commentator.
7 looks like an important corner for saving front and rear.
So as he comes through now, Leclerc desperate to get through on Esteban Ocon out of turn 10 through 11, and then the small kinkle on the straight is turn 12. Leclerc will have the DRS. He's 6/10 behind Esteban Ocon, but I don't think he's going to find the way either. He can't. Not into that chicane. Thought about a look, but it would have been a bit stupid, a bit too foolish, in my opinion, to even try it as they get so close to the champion's wall. Leclerc again with that DRS down towards turn 1. Can't see anything from Ocon going defensive now, so it's just stay as you are. But Leclerc's caught up then, Josh, in that last sector time compared to that of Esteban Ocon. They've gained and lost time.
Yeah, Leclerc, Bottas, Russell all need to pit still.
They still haven't pitted in this race.
Yep.
And they've been on the hard tyres since the start. See, none of us have accounted for that. They realistically can go up until lap 40 on those hard tyres. That's realistic. And then bolt on a set of mediums and hope you'll get to the end. So they're on the reverse strategy from one stopper. So they're on the super alternative tyres at the moment in this Grand Prix. As and now a train forming behind Stroll. Stroll 9th, Zhou 10th, Tsunoda 11th, and Ricciardo 12th. Four-way fight for 9th position and 10th as well. The final points-paying position out there on the circuit. As they head down, Stroll's doing comfortable here for a best-ever performance in his home Grand Prix as well. So fingers crossed it's going to go well for him as well as they continue on in this Grand Prix.
Hopefully Stroll can keep it out of the walls and stay and...
Okay, so update. So no
Alonso.
threats from behind. Ahead of you, Leclerc and Bottas behind. Still need to stop.
Alonso being told no worries from behind, so that's going to be interesting. Where is Alonso still? P7 now. He's with that pit stop, so 3 seconds back as that was Verstappen. Jumping the curb at the last corner, and let's hear from him.
I feel like I'm already losing tyre grip.
Okay, understood.
And he's on the hard tyres, Josh, taking it way later into the Grand Prix. So he's got to go, realistically, to the end of the race. And he's already losing it with 37 to go. This is going to be a lot more than a one-stop race, I believe. We're in for a cracker.
Yeah, Verstappen only did 9 laps on the mediums, pitted on the first virtual safety car, and now has completed 24 laps on the hard, soon to be 25 laps, as Gasly misses the apex of turn 14.
Would you believe it that this is Sergio Perez? It's only his second
Just
DNF
again,
of the season.
Bottas and Stroll did not pit yet, as I mentioned already, on tyres.
Yeah, it's only his second.
Copy, but it's difficult with the tyres.
Yeah, this is only Perez's second DNF of the season, actually, after his season opener in Bahrain. So nice way to make it through in this race at the moment, as, well, halfway. Doesn't matter that much. I hope he's been watching the Grand Prix at least from some of it. As no, that one. Ian Birch walks into the back of the commentary box. Go down to 10.
Have you? Yeah, Alex Albon and Lando Norris's sad Canadian Grand Prix race stories.
Doesn't sound like a bestseller to me.
Well, the Montreal Tales of Woe with Norris and Albon. So they're running 16th and 17th with some terrible stories of woe for both of them. Albon stopped a lap before the second virtual safety car, has tumbled down the order and can't do anything. Do you remember he was P10?
Yeah.
Has tumbled down the order, so really got held out. Unlucky under that second virtual safety car. Can't do anything further than that. Lando Norris, we know about the problem with the pit stop and is now behind Alex Albon and can't progress. Even if he could, we don't know how much quicker he could be because of this engine degradation. On the McLaren, Crofty. Maybe you want to fill that story in, and then I'll pick up with something else about Lewis Hamilton.
Well, he had the problem, didn't he, yesterday with the sensor, the electrical problem with the sensor in the power unit. As a precaution, McLaren changed the power units, took one from the pool, but that's not as fresh, and engines degrade over time. And he's probably losing about 2/10, 3/10 of a second per lap to those with a fresher engine, just because his has been used a little bit more. Your old trainers, Ted. Once upon a time, you'd sprightly bounce up and down the pit lane. Now it's just it's a weary trudge. You need some new shoes.
Well, they've lost so many tenths of a second per lap that I don't use them anymore. So, yeah, very good excuse for me. But, yeah, so 3/10 of a second per lap. Norris is down on engine power. So just bear that in mind when you consider his performance for the rest of the race. But I've got another idea for a book. What happened to the worst car I've ever driven round Canada by Lewis Hamilton? He's in third place. He's keeping okay with Carlos Sainz on lap time. 1:17 for Sainz, 1:17.7 for Sainz, and 1:17.7 for Hamilton. So, yeah, I mean, what happened to Hamilton's worst car I've ever driven around here? It's not going so bad now.
Well, he's after a race win as well as Lewis Hamilton, as Ian Birch joins the back of the box. Hello, Dad. Happy Father's Day for the Grand Prix. Half distance, by the way. That's the second time today. It's a good Grand Prix so far. Perez out of the race, Schumacher out of the race as well, due to engine and gearbox failures as well. Engine for Schumacher, gearbox for Perez, but Verstappen leads and Alonso down in 7th. It's the status quo.
I am doing a work to rule in association with my fellow drivers on ASLEF, and we must protest at you, the management, for the actions that you have done up to now. And I'll tell you this, right? We won't put up with it.
Good, nice to see you. We're struggling.
I have my colleague Megan. He's got a placard, and she's striking outside this box, and he's now things. Oh, and little Josh, nice T-shirt.
Nice shirt, actually, yeah, Josh. By the way, nice shirt down there, out there in the comms box. As 21.503 then at the moment, as we hear from Charles Leclerc.
And we are thinking Plan D. Let me know what you think.
Whatever I mean, like that, I cannot overtake. I just can't.
Josh, down there in the pits, has Leclerc stopped yet in this race? Because I don't think he has. If it's a Plan B, that will be the C3 tyres. Sorry, it'll be the soft tyres later on in this race, not the hards. Although surely you have to use the hard tyres in this race.
Leclerc is currently on the hard tyres with Bottas and Stroll, and they've all done 36 laps and have not stopped.
Yeah, so they are yet to stop in this race. Russell was saying something over the radio as well.
I think Josh's T-shirt is really cool.
I want one.
It looks like a British Superbikes one, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
what one?
Bjorn Estimates.
As it comes through.
We don't talk about the spaghetti bolognese sauce there, though.
Several times.
Oh, we all do that.
Megan's got toothpaste on her arm.
You know one of those tea towels that they wash up with? You need to put a tea towel over you.
That's what you do, don't you?
Just protects you.
You say no Are you saying I need a bib as Gasly?
He's got it.
I'm 61 and I need one, Josh, so you know.
To be fair, if I've got a white shirt on, even I'll do it.
You could tuck it in your top like that and
Plus
just let it down.
It looks fancy at restaurants as well. With napkins, you tuck into the collar, don't you, while you're eating dinner, so you don't get splashed.
Yeah, but do you remember that time I took what I thought was the napkin in the tub, and it was the tablecloth?
Stupidly, he's done that once before. Anyway, as it comes through, nice. Look at this.
What's that?
This is getting worse.
Has he got food there?
As they come through out here at the moment, down on the back half of the circuit. Now, Lando Norris trying to have a look on the inside there as well. Can't get through. So that's actually... Oh, I'm screwing this up.
No, you're not. Just concentrate.
As
The two Mercedes are doing well.
So Bottas is down in 8th position. He's got a second advantage. But look at this. We got Stroll, Tsunoda in there as well, all battling.
How long did it take Leclerc to get from the back to number 6?
What, sorry? Back to number 6. It took him 32 laps, and he's been stuck behind.
Yeah, that's roughly the same as Lewis did when he was at the back.
A couple of races ago, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So this is looking good, and he hasn't stopped yet.
It's all under control, Joe. We just have to go to the end. We have 34 laps to go. Watch out to your tires. So far, you're doing very well on the tires.
Dad Plays says, I'll buy Josh Plays a bib tomorrow. Good. That works well. And this is Fernando. This is Esteban Ocon. There is Charles Leclerc. There's Fernando Alonso. And Alonso's catching it. So Ocon is holding Leclerc up so Alonso can get back in. But they know that Leclerc hasn't stopped yet. Alonso has. So he doesn't need to leapfrog him. We'll get that in the pit lane anyway. So this isn't working. Ted, down to you.
I did, but just another tale of woe at Williams, and that's for Nicholas Latifi, who's had a very slow pit stop. Has lost 3 or 4 seconds. A problem on the front. They're having a little debrief about it now with the front jackman.
A lot of writing to...
Don't like the look at that little bit of smoke coming out the back of the turbo.
And it's coming out the back of the wrong area.
Yeah.
That's actually coming out the rear light.
Which is connected to the back of the engine.
It's on the monkey seat. It's the nighttime light and the bad weather light. If the only thing that can come out of there is if you're burning electric somewhere.
So that's never good news. It's still doing it, look, isn't it? Oh, if that car goes back.
Unless you're burning oil, and that's its only way out.
Yeah, you're not allowed to really burn the oil, aren't you, as a fuel?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, if he's got a slight oil leak and he's burning, your mum's an expert on that because she had an oil leak for about 6 months.
Quick, get her in the comment box. This is worse then for Charles Leclerc if this car goes bang, but because that will be championship over. He'll lose so many points after 3 DNFs in 4 races. As Leclerc has the DRS down towards turn 1. Can't get through this time. He thought about it on Esteban Ocon, but Alonso has actually backed up a lot. Alonso's dropped to second.
And if you're wondering, people in the United States will probably understand this, that...
That's Vettel.
Do you think people like Joe, who's in that group, is going to go to the end? Tsunoda's got 10 lap older tyres than you.
It was one of those oil leaks.
And Ricciardo's got the same age. If we pit now, we fall behind Norris and Albon.
Anyone with a...
Yes, it's awful, isn't it? Go on.
Albon's very slow, 1.4 slower than you.
No, that's good news.
Yeah, it
anyway, anybody who's got a Chevrolet out there, right, and you get a little oil leak, it's quite popular on the cruise. And you start it up, and the seals reseal themselves as they expand and stop the oil leaking. So it's only an oil leak that appears in our carport.
Yeah.
So we put sand underneath the carport and just warmed it up every day. And the reason we don't have it done straight away is that Danny had to actually
order the part. Yeah.
Or he got the part, but it's finding time to actually strip the front off. Because you have to strip the front of the engine off, all the stuff on the side. You have to take the top off.
Get that all off, yeah.
Take the electronic plugs out, and just to get down to this thing behind everything.
One little line.
One little thing about that big that slots in.
Nicholas Latifi in the pit lane now as well. What's happened during the stop? It's a slow stop on the front right, and the wheel was not actually on when he was told to go. The mechanic dropped him, but the red light was still on. So that is the fault of the gun. Yeah,
he had to do it again, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't go on at all. He didn't turn up.
That was on lap 39. It's
I
now lap
thought
42.
the new safety devices on those locks meant that. I mean, as we saw with Mercedes and Bottas, you know, those locks are so good that you can't get them off.
FIA are actually looking at introducing a new air jack system where they'll come into the pit lane, they'll stop, the car will get lifted up by the FIA.
Like they did, like doing IndyCar.
Yeah, but the car will get lifted up by the FIA, and only when the sensor for all four wheels are on will the car be released.
I mean, you told me that that tyre of Bottas's.
That is okay.
Alonso saying the tyres are okay, he can go for it.
It took him 4 days to get that tyre off.
Yes.
Chiseling it and drilling it.
Oh, box, finally for Charles Leclerc into the pit lane. Yeah, that's chisel and saw it off as well. It was the longest stop in history for that.
Leclerc's just doing a one stop, isn't he? Are they most of them doing a stop here, stop here?
Yes, most of them are planning, but this is finally the first stop, and it's onto the brand new medium compound then to take him 29 laps to the end of the race, and it's a slow stop. It's a slow stop on the rear left. It wasn't on. Again, the FIA sensor fail, a 5.3 second stop, and that's going to hammer him now. It's going to rejoin right in the middle of the battle for 10th position. Look, there they're all going through now. Leclerc comes in, I think, just alongside Danny Ricciardo, but he'll be let through. Leclerc drops to 12th and right in the battle for 10th and 9th positions. That's bad, really bad.
Tyres are very
Charlie boy, you just got to get on with it. Get your head down and get past the McLaren. You're stronger than the McLaren. You're stronger than the AlphaTauri, right? You just got to wait for your time and do it. And I don't believe I said that.
Coming through then at the minute.
I want Danny Rick to do better. And Tsunoda.
Winners in
and then you come
Saudi
up
Arabia.
against Mr. Sheffield in 9th place. So.
Tyres are really starting to overheat, says Max Verstappen. We heard that on the PLC a couple of moments ago as Leclerc trying to get up behind the back of Danny Ricciardo. But Red Bull won in Saudi Arabia, Emilia-Romagna, Miami, Spain, Monaco, Azerbaijan. They're on a run of 5 races. They've won 6 of the opening as Ricciardo tries to pull to the outside line of Yuki Tsunoda for 10th place. And now Leclerc's joined the battle with the DRS as well.
This is a good battle. I thought, you know, Danny Rick is rejuvenated. He's got the car right now.
82.
2 stop. Ricciardo trying to go right round the outside and nearly makes a mistake about it. Leclerc trying to look for a way through. As into the pit lane comes the race leader of Max Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz takes the lead. Now this is earlier than predicted, Josh, and it's a brand new set of hards. Oh, that's new. He had 2 left, but is that a brave?
They're not new. They're scrubbed at the back.
Two. We had 2, and they did. Josh,
they are
new.
Scrubbed.
Josh, they new or scrubbed? They are new. And it's coming out side by side with Lewis Hamilton at the pit lane, and Hamilton nearly hits him. It's nearly 2021 all over again as Lewis Hamilton takes 2nd position. Well, Lewis is on for a win in Canada. It's not surprising, considering he's won here 7 times before.
They're not sticker red type. They're
hard tyres.
They've got a top scrubbed off.
I think it's just the shine coming out of the pit lane. They are brand new tyres, according to the graphics as well. So new tyres for Verstappen. He had 2 new medium left, so he's used those now. But interestingly enough, Josh, he's got 3 new softs left. But I think that was the wrong call, Josh, to put him on. Let's have a listen, and then we'll come to you.
Why did you make sure I end up front?
Didn't have the pace.
Oh, so why did you put me on the why not? Why did you put me on these tyres, and why did you not make sure? He's not happy, is he? As he's going to make a battle against Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen down the back straight away, pulls to the inside. Lewis surely can't defend and knows he can't, and Verstappen goes through on Lewis Hamilton. This time last year, that'd be dramatic. Oh, that's why. Box.
Lewis is boxing anyway, so, you know, there was no fight whatsoever there because the tyres were just gone. So it was Lewis has got a lot of intelligence, right? He's got a lot of experience, and anyway, even box, he'd have known that anyway.
Josh, what tyres are they putting on?
Hards.
Brand new set as well. Away he goes. And stop time was a 2.8 second stop. He's going to come out just ahead of Ocon and Alonso.
Didn't have the pace.
And Lewis comes out in 4th position. just in between. Karoon.
Hang on 2 seconds. We've got Charles Leclerc.
Yep, hang on, sorry for that, Karoon. We're going to have to wait for you because Charles Leclerc is having a go for 10th position on Yuki Tsunoda up the inside and a breezy move, and he takes him.
Do you know what? Max's engineer is beginning to sound like him off Red Dwarf. You know, the computer.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Holly, yeah, down to Karoon.
Those who
Do you know,
on
Max?
lap 10 couldn't get to the end of the race on that set of tyres. Carlos Sainz is going to try and extend this stint. Ferrari have said to him that he's doing a great job on tyre management. So it's a straight fight. Verstappen's got to catch 9.8 seconds and overtake Sainz with 23 laps fresher tyres before the end of this Grand Prix.
Sounds like a good deal to me. It sounds like it's easily possible. Track temperature 42 degrees now, air temperature 21. The field circulating out there.
Lando, we think they're doing a box to overtake Albon. Box to overtake Albon.
Why would you tell me now? I just want to back off and you need to try something.
And the T-Fit.
Okay, box to overtake confirmed.
Oh, Lando's not happy again. As into the pits comes George Russell for a brand new set of hard compound tyre. 3-second stop, and that puts Hamilton onto the podium for only the 3rd time this year. But did you see the cheek in Lando Norris as well? Why would you tell me that now? To try and overtake Albon is in 15th. Norris down in 17th position. And he said, box to confirm. Lando's had enough, hasn't he, in McLaren at the moment? That partnership's starting to have a little bit of wear and tear. We saw it in Baku.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can't. The way McLaren handle everything, it does seem a bit like a housemaster and a pupil. But they're a happy enough bunch, you know. I don't. You know, a lot of the journalists are writing things about a number of the teams, especially Haas and Mick.
On outlap critical to beat Sainz.
I mean, the things that are written about Mick Schumacher and Haas are rubbish.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
They are rubbish.
Not true at all. Not true at all. As by the way, we just saw how Leclerc go up to 10th place, passing Ricciardo on the inside at turn 8, and then down at the hairpin as well, just after getting past the last corner, getting past Yuki Tsunoda. We saw that one live on the telly.
But don't blame the journalists because they just print anything on hearsay.
Safety car window is open.
Okay, we will go to hard, yeah?
Open.
Yeah, please, I bet it's open. Please, safety car, say Ferrari. But if they want a pointer as to whether Sainz can do 50 laps, because it would have to be 50 laps, wouldn't it, on that hard tyre to get to the end, just have a look at Valtteri Bottas and Lance Stroll, who are both on 45 laps each. They haven't stopped, have they? No, Bottas and Stroll haven't stopped. We're on lap 46, 47, so they've made it to this point in the race on one set of hard tyres.
Where's the tyre gone?
Stabilised.
Yeah, it is possible
Keep
for
doing
Lance
what you're doing,
versus
please.
Sainz, but they will be praying for a safety car, as of course will those two, Bottas and Stroll.
I'm losing seconds on this.
And here comes Leclerc.
Ricciardo's on 11th.
Yeah.
11th.
And that is Leclerc being passed by Zhou Guanyu, but I missed the McLaren.
McLaren's there.
Yeah, and the McLaren's got ahead of Tsunoda. So Ricciardo's got ahead of Tsunoda. That was the battle we were looking at. Then I looked down for 1 second, looked back up again, and now they've changed positions because we were looking at the Ferrari. Leclerc goes to 9th ahead of Zhou, who's having his best ever result so far in 10th position. Actually, forget that. He was having his best ever position. Now he's matching what he did back in the opening race of the season with a 10th place and a point in Bahrain.
You've got to remember, McLaren have got their fingers in so many pies.
Okay, so we are happy for you to push to the end. As I say, just watch your slip for the surface steps, but the wear will not be a limitation.
So go, basically.
And well done to the McLaren IndyCar team, who didn't both cars get good positions in the Road America race.
Week ago as they come through. So, Josh, if Sainz is waiting for the safety car, would he put on the soft tyres as Leclerc? Bah! Side by side, and that's why it was a defence from Stroll as he dives into the pit lane, as Leclerc goes up to 8th position as well. Tell us what tyres Stroll's going to change in a sec, Josh, but as he comes in, we'll throw it to you. Medium tyres, away he goes then.
And Tsunoda's also in the pit lane. That leaves Bottas the only person to not pit yet.
And Bottas is down in 7th position, right behind Fernando Alonso. So it's not working
a lot
too
of
well.
people say, why does Max blow his top?
Yeah.
And it's because he cares.
Time penalty.
Oh, what?
Who's got a time penalty, Josh?
Lando Norris.
A yellow as well.
We'll take the yellow first, Josh. Yellow flag out the track. It is in sector 1, and I think it's Yuki Tsunoda. as Daniel Ricciardo has just passed into TP10, but I think Tsunoda's got off the track, so when he has, Yuki Tsunoda is into the wall to bring out the safety car, and that's perfect for Sainz.
Sorry, I'm out.
Safety, and he's in the wall, and it'll have to be safety car, and it is safety car. We believe is being called, but it's a delay. We're waiting for it to come up on the monitor. We're looking at every single screen to tell you it's just a yellow right now, but this works perfectly into the hands of Sainz, works perfectly into the hands of Alonso as well. Would they risk safety car?
Safety car deployed.
So now this completely changes the
timing
complexion.
screens have gone safety car deployed. The front thing has gone safety car deployed.
And this is Yuki Tsunoda.
And this is what happened.
Now he comes out the pit lane and he locks up and goes straight in the wall. What was that? Cold
tyres, yeah. No grip.
And into the pit lane comes the race leader, Carlos Sainz. This
For a
changes it.
Three pit stop.
And it's a slow stop. It's a slow
really
stop.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, what was it? 3.7 seconds. The green flag is out, we're being told. The safety car's in. What? We've been told it's green flag. Well, it's a safety car, but we've got green on our timing screens. We'll keep an eye on that. But the safety car is out.
The safety car has been deployed.
Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Sainz is second, Hamilton third, and Alonso, I think, is coming down pit road. But they've all got a free stop. Where is Alonso? I think Alonso, I can't find him. Alonso and Ocon still second around. Hamilton's gone through.
How is Verstappen in front of Sainz?
Oh, it's a 14-second stop. You lose 12 in the pit lane. I think he's just got him. But Josh, what's the difference on the two tyres between Verstappen and Sainz? Safety car is out.
Safety car's there.
Yeah, there it is. With the bus on the top of the bridge.
Sainz is on brand new hards and Verstappen is on 6-lap-old hards. That is an
Alpine double stacking. Alpine are double stacking for Ocon going to mediums, and here comes Fernando Alonso as well with a set of medium compound tyres. Beautiful.
It's irrelevant under a safety car, but 2.7 is brilliant for that pit stop of Ocon.
And it's a 3.8 for Alonso, but they won't lose any time as Bottas is coming to the pit lane as well. This puts Alonso beautifully in contention for a podium here. Can he get out ahead of Leclerc? Yes, he will. Leclerc can't do anything. He goes fast as you like in the fast lane, can't you, in the safety car? And Alonso gets out beautifully ahead of Leclerc. So that safety car has worked perfectly for Carlos Sainz. Brilliant.
Ricciardo and Zoe are in.
3.6 to 3.5. Well, they're just all taking off. Lig Mang Zabal says, who's got this race in your opinion, guys? I think it's going the way of Sainz, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he is.
Josh, what about you? Who do you think's got this race?
Yeah, Sainz.
All agreed. Sainz has got this one. What's the difference on the two tyres, do we know, between Verstappen and Sainz? Verstappen, I think, is about 3 laps.
Wasn't much. He was in quite recently, wasn't he?
Yes.
Verstappen 7-lap-old hards, Sainz 1-lap-old hards.
So 6 between them. Thanks, Josh. 6 between them. There's Yuki Tsunoda with a bit of egg on his face, I would say. Yeah, he's off with the scooter.
If he had egg on his face, he'd be eating it, knowing Yuki.
And he has taken the scooter back, the Vespa. The Vespas that are travelling the world with us this year, because they are actually electric scooters. As they come out the pit lane, Tsunoda too hot, locks up, and into the wall hard as well, breaking the suspension.
And if Beth is listening, yeah, Datsun Boy has got his own Vespa now.
Linkman says, good shout. What's your opinion, Linkman? What's your opinion on who's going to take the race win? As well, get in touch with the YouTube chat. As we've moved the screens over so we can actually have guests on the comment box this time out. As they come through. Oh, radio, Verstappen.
Sainz, Hamilton, Russell. Hamilton pitched the lap after you, Russell the lap after him. Hamilton's third lap was a 16.5. That is the current fastest lap. So he does have pace. Hamilton obviously, Sainz, obviously on a fresh set of tyres as well.
So the safety car has made an appearance in 13 races here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve between here 1997. Highest number of appearances here was 6. Of course, this was the first ever F1 race to finish behind the safety car back in 1999. Mika Häkkinen won that race. And Canada was the scene of the first ever safety car in Formula 1 back in 1973. The Porsche 973 came out, picked on the wrong leader, and changed everything over. Ted.
Yeah, let me tell you about some other drivers. Sebastian
Vettel. It's not going to be tales of woes.
No.
I felt the last 2 times we've been down to you, it was a bit of a downer.
story of my life. Talk to my wife.
Hang on, Ted. Lots of
Verstappen
replays.
radio. Team radios.
Car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed. Dash positive, dash positive. Science is in.
Now Russell.
Advise on brakes and tyres.
So I can see a split down the brakes, the opposite side. Keep working those fronts, and we want high pressure events.
Now Leclerc.
How many cars will get in front of us if we stop?
It will be 3 cars. 3 cars.
Now Vettel.
Box. Yep, copy, mate. We'll have a quick look. So just keep on your delta. So if we stop, Sebastian, what would you do? Flap, please. Flap adjust. Go up.
Now Hamilton.
Are we at risk of Leclerc now?
No, so
Give me some information, guys.
so Leclerc's already stopped, so should be a threat for him. He's currently P7.
And that's the team radio.
No, this is a new idea from F1 TV, a team radio dump. I love it. Yeah, great stuff.
I like it. Back to you, Ted.
Right, yes, Sebastian Vettel, so stayed out, but was struggling on his tyres before, and now is in P9, so he's got the track position ahead of Zhou Guanyu, but will still be struggling on his tyres after. Lando Norris and Alex Albon both stopped again, and, well, they've rejoined in that same position. 15th Albon, Norris 16th. But Daniel Ricciardo, let's talk about him for a bit, Crofty. Running just on the outskirts of the top 10. He did stop just under that safety car. So he's P11, but has also been reporting bad handling on the tyres for his McLaren. Let's see if
Hamilton
McLaren
radio.
something from this one.
My pace to the others. Give us a bit more of a picture, guys.
So yeah, we were matching the leaders. In fact, corrected. Yeah, you were one of the fastest guys out there.
You think that's pushing too hard on the new tyre?
We think with this safety car, that's just going to buy us margin, so we should be good to the end. It's much shorter stint than that first hard tyre. Plus, we've got this safety car to reset everything.
Looks interesting out there as well. Looks absolutely fantastic, mate. Yes, go on, Josh.
And clear in track sector 1, so this should be the last lap on the safety car.
You say that, but don't forget your own procedures. Lapped cars may now overtake, and that is Magnussen, Stroll, Gasly, Albon, Norris, Latifi as well.
You come up as soon as I say that. Thanks, FIA.
I knew that was coming because I was looking at the timing screens. So lap cars are now going through. First ever safety car in 1973 picked up the wrong leader, and it took 3 hours after the race to make that all finished as well. Also, this was the first ever track where Formula 1 had a red flag. Technically, it was Indianapolis in 1950, but the first red flag on a Grand Prix organised event was here in 1971 due to rain as well. It was on lap 64, it didn't restart, and it was the second ever red flag officially.
And if you were here in 1966, you would be swimming because it didn't exist, it was the water.
Yeah, it was built for the 67 World's Fair, wasn't it? And you can see the building just on the side there with the big dome. Always.
And I heard that Crofty's wife was seen in praying in a church, and the person went over and said, "Are you okay? Are you praying for less races this year?" She went, "No more."
I don't know if he's married at the moment. I think he is. I'm not too sure. Actually.
Yeah.
I know he was.
His biggest critic and the one that keeps him on his toes is his 13 or 14-year-old little son.
2007 he was born, so
yeah,
14.
Crofty's a headbanger. He likes his rock music.
He was a music producer before the season.
Ricardo and him used to go to all the rock concerts that accompany the circuits all over the world.
Lewis Radio.
Are we going to be at risk of the guys on the softer tyre?
No, we think you've got the pace.
Is that for a race win or just to hold off on the podium?
And of course, he comes from Stevenage, which is the same as Lewis and Johnny Herbert.
Yeah, Crofty always says second fastest driver for Stevenage is actually David Croft, not Johnny Herbert. That's always a little thing that goes through. So let's do a run-up. Who's on new tyres out there on the circuit? If I look down at one monitor, that's dimmed a little bit. Sainz on new tyres. So is Ocon, Alonso, Bottas, Zhou, Ricciardo, Stroll, Albon, and they're all on brand new tyres, and everyone else has stopped or retired. 2 virtual safety cars, 1 full safety car, as the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Can have a grandstand.
Rachel Brooks was she got her racing license in the same group as the two girls that are currently first and second in the W Series.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, I'm just pointing over to the timing screen and looking at down. When this race restarts, it'll be 16 laps to go inside the 15-lap window you always go on about in a Grand Prix.
The 15-lap window. Yeah, but they're all really rearing to go now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be a grandstand finish in this one as well as we come through.
Light fueled.
Yeah.
Because they've used most of the fuel. The new tyres. We're in for a barnstorming finish.
It's going to be a great Canadian Grand Prix. A late safety car always plays a factor. The most we've ever had here in one race was 6 back in 2011 with all the safety car restarts. Well, the most actually in a dry race was 5 back in 2007.
And
coincidentally, Lewis won that one.
We've had 2 barrel rolls here in the past. One of them very famous, Kubica, and the other one was Stroll, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stroll barreling into the first corner. Okay, safety car coming in then. Withdrawn from the computer, Max Verstappen weaving left and right. The safety car restart zone is just before the chicane, so he's got this entire back straightaway to sort of lunge up and go again. Max Verstappen holding the advantage, warming up his tyres. Everyone behind him as well. 17 left in the race. Everyone on the lead lap. Everyone caught up. When is Verstappen going to hit the gas? Surely be out the last corner. It's green flag. And away we go, but it's up to Verstappen, who hits the accelerator and nearly goes into the champions wall. We're back underway here in Canada. Charles Leclerc has got a good launch as well, trying to pass Alonso. Sainz has got a good run, but it's Verstappen who leads into turn 1, followed by the Ferrari of Sainz, the 2 Mercedes and the 2 Alpines, following suit of Hamilton, Russell, Ocon and Alonso as well. Brilliant restart, clean from everybody as well, and now the hunt is on, because Verstappen surely can't survive with those 7-lap-old tyres compared to Sainz's 1.
Every restart looks like, a MotoGP race where one follows the other really closely. And that usually brings out another safety car.
And he's getting close further behind as well as Leclerc was looking for a little late lunge on Fernando Alonso. Hasn't worked out just then. Bottas already beginning to separate just a little bit. 10 seconds already separates the field. Verstappen chose it perfectly. 9-10 separate him and Sainz at the moment, but Sainz will activate the tyres and want to stay with Verstappen as well. He needs to attack now. If he wants to win his first Grand Prix, he'll have to be the world champion to do so. Great launch out the corner from Zhou Guanyu on the back of Sebastian Vettel. Tries to, as he pulls the outside line, we're watching the wrong camera battle. They're looking down the back straight away. Has he done it? No. It's Vettel going defensive.
Going on the outside now.
Yeah, Vettel's got that. Covered off.
Yeah, it's just not got enough speed, that Alpha.
Way too covered off as well as they come through. Verstappen leads. 8/10 now. DRS not enabled for another 2 laps, remember? Clean restart.
It shows Zhou's confidence, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was on him at the last corner, wasn't he? Vettel must have gone defensive, and we didn't see it because the TV camera angle, but he across the track.
Zhou is one of the modern-day drivers, who thinks, 4-time champion, that it's better to pass him.
Mike Hunt, I've got to say that carefully, haven't I? Says,
don't let's say this again.
Evening, people. Sainz has been on fire. I'd love to see a Ferrari season win, beat the same old Mercedes Red Bull title race. Will we see Russell in P1 this season, guys? Absolutely. Russell will win a race this year, so will Lewis, but it depends on when. SHG says Alonso and Ocon on the mission here. Same for Leclerc. Yeah, they're all going to hunt down. And Mike says, Josh, I absolutely love your enthusiasm. Thanks for that, as they come through. And Josh plays down the pits as well. Who do you reckon is going to have this one? It's looking a bit chaotic out there at the moment. Still no DRS. I think we should actually activate DRS on the opening lap of the restart because
regular
it's not
listeners
working.
will know that we talked about. We used to have an Anglia TV weatherman called Michael Hunt.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Josh, that's you.
I think Sainz has got it as we're on board with Leclerc now, trying to look round Alonso, but just a little bit far back. Carlos Sainz, fastest lap, 1:16.287.
And have you got your DRS enabled, by the way?
Yeah, when we got a team principal called Mike Crack.
Yes, Mike Crack down at the Alston Martin team principal as well. So there's always a fun jokes that can do as Stroll has passed Magnussen for 12th and 13th. Magnussen dropping down the order as well. And Ricciardo, I think, has made a way through there as well. So I think they've gained a couple of places as well as the restart is well and truly underway. We've got 14 laps to go. It's lap 57 of 70. And this is a replay of Zhou Guanyu passing Vettel finally for 9th. He's going on the outside into turn 1. Late on the brakes. That was a beautiful move and nearly went off the track. Zhou using all the limits there.
Didn't we have a... Isn't this the track where we had a branch fall?
Yes.
Onto the track.
Yeah. It did cause safety car, didn't it, as well? Yeah. Look at Sainz. He's got the DRS. Sainz is closed down now to 3 tenths, and he's right on the back of Verstappen. Down the start-finish straight. He'll have the DRS as well. Verstappen looking in his mirrors. He's got a hungry Ferrari and a hungry Spaniard looking as well for victory. He wants to play the national anthem for Spain for the first time since the Spanish Grand Prix in 2013, when Fernando Alonso last won a Grand Prix in Formula 1. As they come back into the start-finish straight, Sainz, after his first race win, Verstappen might just crack under the pressure. But we've seen it here before. A Red Bull driver, beginning with V, cracking right there at turn 7 back in 2011.
And you pay all this money, you know, for the best views and...
Fernando still has DRS. Good job. If for whatever reason Fernando comes past, let's just make sure Leclerc doesn't. Okay, let's make sure Leclerc stays behind us.
So a nice little team order there, I think, everybody.
And there's a... Ocon.
Yeah, he's going to let him go. Ocon's going to release Alonso. Alonso 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths as well. Alonso going to go through. Eyes up front though for the lead battle as Sainz is closing in. The Canadian Grand Prix suddenly exploding with action. The late safety car caused by Yuki Tsunoda has put us on for a barnstorm finish as here comes Sainz once again with the DRS. Verstappen is going to be feeling absolutely helpless. He's going to have to rely on that Red Bull. But the problem is neither of those cars have been reliable this year. Lewis's car so far has.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that one of the best views in the track, if you keep looking to the side of the track, you will see there is a gentleman stood on one of the roofs of the porter cabin things that by the side of the safety fences.
Yeah.
And he's just staring over the top of the safety fence.
Go on.
Totally dangerous, but brilliant view.
Go on, Josh.
As we just see on the replay, that's making it hard for the Alpine team orders as Leclerc has gone the inside of turn 10, splitting both of the Alpines.
And Alonso drops down to 7th position then as well. The Ferrari fans love that, but they love Alonso just as much as they love Leclerc, so a bit of divided loyalty, I think, there. If you're a Ferrari driver, you're a Ferrari driver for life. No matter how you leave the team, no matter how you do it, you're welcome into the heart of the Tifosi just as much as Michael Schumacher was. But I think they're all going to be cheering on Carlos Sainz right now as well, who is only 6 tenths back, and with only 12 laps to go, even Lewis Hamilton is joining the fight now. Hamilton could do it if these two take each other off. It's all closing up, and look at how much speed.
Look at the
Sainz
speed, the closing speed.
Oh, it's down to 3 tenths through the chicane.
Is DRS enabled?
Yes, it is.
Here
He's going
it
to
is.
open. Verstappen's looking defensive. Sainz has the abrasion. Can he try it into turn 1? No. Nothing about it. This is a great race now. 11 laps to go. It's lap 60
Max
of 70.
isn't going to give up this lightly, but I'll tell you this, Sainz is really gunning for this win.
And the team is past Magnussen. Magnussen's dropped down to 17th. Started this race 5th. Ted.
Ferrari have been telling Leclerc that they think Alonso is slow ahead with an engine problem. So they must be looking at GPS traces or listening into his radio. We'll see whether Alonso goes slower.
And that's going to heartbreak Megan. Don't tell her. And Leclerc's gone straight on. Leclerc's gone straight on.
Yeah, he tried to overtake Ocon, and he didn't have enough room and took the escape route.
So, yeah, Leclerc's missed the apex as well. But if Alonso has an engine problem as well, do not tell Megan. Absolutely do not. Just tell her that he finished the race in 4th position. She'll be upset, but she might get over it. If he knows there's an engine problem, she won't. And she'll rue the day that our Renault were an engine was supplied, just like she did with Honda all those years ago. It's all eyes up front there to where a Honda-powered car with a Red Bull badge is leading the race by 4 tenths, and Sainz is hunting him down, jumping over the curves in the last corner. Sainz can smell his first win, and unlike in Monza in 2019, he's not going to let this one go.
He's pressuring and pressuring. Max will keep his nerve. This isn't going to be easy for him, but I think he'll get him.
Stroll's past Vettel as well for 11th place. Vettel's down to 12th now as well. Alonso is right on the back of Ocon once again, so the team orders might be back on. And this is Leclerc up the inside of Esteban Ocon at turn 10, making the move of the hairpin once again in front of the Ferrari fans.
Very close to losing the Ocon's front wing of his front wing.
Yeah, when they came back.
The little side.
The winglets
Winglet.
on the side of the cars. DRS Zone 1 was just activated. Zone 2 will be active soon. Sainz again, 6/10. The Ferrari's not quick through the Mickey Mouse sections of this track, but down the
See
straight
what I
it's
mean,
closing.
everyone? About 15 laps to go. There's been more excitement in the last few laps than in the rest of the race put together, I think.
And that's exactly what makes them the classics as well. Maybe sprint races were on for a good idea, but it takes long for the sprint races to get up. So they're trying to slice in the last 15 laps. It doesn't work. DRS open again for Sainz as well. 0.5 in the second now as well, as Verstappen makes a little bit of a slide at the last corner, and the gap comes down again. Sainz is just going to have to risk it and send
Sainz has just got to wait for the mistake.
it.
And you don't get many opportunities with Max, but he's got to keep pressurising Max, and Max will eventually do something wrong. Everybody does.
And Max is going to be pushing over the seat of his pants. Carlos Sainz, in many respects, can just sort of sit back and you say, control the driving, not be the pressure. He's not being hunted. Verstappen is. It's right. How long until he makes a mistake? Little twitch there for Max as well, coming out of turn 7. The car not responding to the amount of power he's trying to put down. You start missing gears as well. You start accelerating mid-corner. You have to catch some oversteer. You do make mistakes. Everybody is human, no matter how much robotic Max Verstappen seems to be. He will make mistakes and he will crack under the pressure. But can he hold the nerve as Sainz again is going to have another run down the back straight? And he doesn't have DRS.
This has nothing to do with the fact that all three of us have said that Sainz will win the race.
So, look at this. He doesn't have DRS though. Verstappen pulled out a second. He got a better exit at the last corner. Now Sainz has brought it back in, so he will have DRS for the last corner, I believe. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he's recharging his battery, isn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't have DRS. Oh, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
DRS.
So it just, covered me with the activation zones on the track map there. It didn't really show me the correct positions as well, but he does have DRS.
I still don't think he's quite close enough again.
Yeah, he's dropped back 8/10. It's now going to have to be a lot.
It looked like he used a lot of battery to do that, and he's got to recharge and then have another run.
8 laps to go. The Canadian Grand Prix as well, running halfway as well. Tell you what, go on, Josh.
Incident involving Vettel noted for safety car infringement.
Oh, that could be a penalty. And didn't we have a penalty early on, just before that drama with the yellow flag? Someone got a 5-second penalty. Who was it?
It was a 5-second penalty for Norris speeding in the pit lane.
And he hasn't gone into the pit lane under the safety car. So Lando's going to have 5 seconds added onto his time, but it shouldn't change position. He's 6 seconds ahead of Latifi, who is in 16th. So Lando will probably finish this race in 15th position as things stand.
It's just a car problem with the
DRS enabled again for Sainz, and look how much. The problem is it's so bumpy down that straight. You're not actually gaining enough time. The time you gain, you lose with the bumps, with the propulsing. And he's taking a lot of curb.
The McLaren did predict that they wouldn't do well at this track.
And sadly, it looks to be true. As fastest lap of the race goes the way of Carlos Sainz, a 1:15.749. As Stroll's going to go for the last point against Danny Ricciardo into turn 14, and he's taken him. Stroll goes to 10th position, and Sainz again, fastest lap, hunting it down as they get in. Can he claim the win with 7 laps to go? And there's the confirmation, investigated after the race.
Has DRS.
Verstappen radio, this is what we're hearing.
8 laps to go after this one, Max.
So Max being told as well that he does have the DRS, and now they've left Lewis behind. 3.6 seconds separate them all at the moment. According to the monitor, the gap between Hamilton and Sainz is 2.7. The gap between Verstappen and Hamilton, 3.6. That's it. It's all gone now.
There's a replay of Stroll.
So, dust kicked up for Ricciardo, and Stroll thought, that's it. I'll go for it now. And slips to on the inside with the DRS. Ricciardo's struggling out there. He's got to admit, but at least he's beaten Norris in this one. I'm just waiting for the puff of blue smoke for Verstappen to lock up into the braking zone or hit the champion's wall, something like that.
That's what Sainz is waiting for too.
You just know
it's the major sign. It's like a a green light at traffic lights, isn't it?
Ferrari needed Sainz to take a victory here this weekend with Leclerc having so many penalties.
Okay, we need a bit more liftoff. Sorry, Pierre, we are very high with the front now, so keep up the liftoff where you can.
That's Gasly being told lift off to save the PU, the power unit.
Max is superhuman under pressure. You're going to get 1, possibly 2 chances in the next 8 laps to do this, and you've got to take it when it happens. And is Sainz in the right frame of mind? I remember him after the race the other week saying that he, when it came to the crunch, he started having little thoughts of is that a rattle and things like that.
Yeah.
All these things go through your mind, that the car's rattling more than it did at the start of the race, and did I slide a bit there because the tyres are going off.
Apparently we were on USRN as well at some point during this broadcast that we were put on over it as well. So hello to everyone listening on USRN. We're not on as a main commentary team this weekend because Matthew and Matt are commentating on it, but apparently we were put on.
It's closing again.
Yeah. Getting good out here then as it comes through. I didn't even see the message pop up. So sorry,
Recharge that battery.
Is the outer side of the car, front left.
He's got DRS.
Can he get into turn 1? 5 laps to go.
He's just changed the mode on his steering wheel. Just saw him move his hands against it.
Power, power, power. The little owl saying, come on, Carlos.
He's going for the overtake mode, hasn't he?
If Megan was here, I think she'll say that he's just executed Order 66. 5 to go, switch to the engine mode on lap 66 and go for it. I think that's the situation.
Are you allowed to change the engine mode now? I know you can change the mode setting, mapping. Yeah,
it's the fuel mapping, isn't it? It's not changing the engine to go high or lower. It's just changing the amount of fuel.
Ferrari and Mercedes used to.
Yeah, and look at Alonso. Alonso's back on the back of Ocon. I wonder if they let him pass. Let's listen.
Okay, so at the moment I think we stay where we are, just for a straight line issue.
Fernando.
Yeah, but even with the straight line issue, I'm 100 times faster this weekend.
Okay, understood.
Fernando, you have done absolutely beautifully, and I think you should be let through on Esteban. I think Alonso's done a better job. It's the safety car that cost him. Now coming to 4 to go. Sainz again pushing. As you said, he spent the last couple of laps saving the battery power. Now he can push for it as well. Josh, how are the tyres looking as well? What's the lap counts on them both between Verstappen and Leclerc with 4 laps to go? Oh,
Verstappen.
I'm loving this fight
2
between
seconds, sorry,
Sainz and Verstappen. I'm on the edge of my seat down here in the pit lane, and I'm standing up. So yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving it. Just looking down to the Ferrari pit wall. They're thinking about anything they can do. Just any advice. Press the overtake button. It's just in that last sector where Carlos Sainz is quicker.
I think
but
Max
has got him covered.
Max
in the
has,
middle
yeah,
sector,
I think Max has
so
got it.
Verstappen
Position
has
is
got the
perfect.
margin when they come down to the Wall of Champions. Wall of Champions. That might be something, mightn't it, Crofty? Verstappen is a world champion. I know you were just about to say it. Carlos Sainz isn't, but yeah, they're just willing him on at the Ferrari pit wall.
Doing a
Look
great
at
job.
that.
Gap stable at 2.8.
It's really pushing on now. Ferrari wanting to go. Go on, Josh. What's the gap in the tyres? What they're looking like?
Verstappen, 23 lap-old hards. Sainz, 17 lap-old hards. Hamilton, 22 lap-old hards. Russell, 21 lap hards.
Well, it should be good then.
Leclerc, 25 lap mediums.
I think the Mercedes will keep positions, don't you?
Yeah, they'll stay 3rd and 4th. So Lewis will take his 2nd or 3rd podium of the year, as I'll keep away 3rd place in Bahrain. And no, that's it. That's only 1 podium this year, is it, for Lewis? Surely not. 3rd place. I think it was, you know. Lewis has only had 1 podium this year, and that was in Bahrain. Blimey. So Lewis is only going to get his 2nd podium of the year. I could have sworn he had another one somewhere. But according to the notes, last podium was in Bahrain.
He is driving a motorised hand car anyway.
Yes, he is. 0.9 the gap. I think you're right. 3 to go. Verstappen's got this one, but we said that about Vettel
Engine braking
in 2011.
0. Suggestion.
Tires are done for the traffic at the beginning.
We've just got to wait to see who's going to win this one. Can Sainz find something at the line? The beauty is, at the moment, our timing screens, for once this weekend, are perfectly synced up. So we have got no idea if there's a crash or anything. As soon as we see it with the top 3 or lead changes, we'll see it on the TV pictures. So we're perfectly synced up, I think, for the first time with Sky and our internet finally back up to speed. Are we actually going to have a better run this time as Sainz hammers open the DRS, tries to get a run, 7 7 tenths at the moment. It's going to be closing down again. He needs it as close as possible.
Not close enough.
No, it's not, is it? He needs to turn to 11. He's jumping over the curb too much. He's losing too much time in that last corner. 2 tenths by jumping the curb as we've got 2 to go here in Canada. It's getting ridiculous now. They need to find something different. They need to change up the settings.
Alonso was in the engineering block watching views of the last time it was raining here the other day. Over and over again, the onboard cameras of different drivers. I think, you know, Max has been watching Alonso's blocking movements because they're absolutely perfect at the moment. He can get close to him, but he just can't find enough wheel distance to get past him safely.
Doing absolutely perfectly.
He's not making a lunge because he's not stupid. He's waiting for that mistake, and it's just not happening.
Oh, and Sainz made a mistake. He was too deep into the braking zone at turn 11. Look at that.
And look at the gap now.
8 tenths. He lost. He tried to run it in, didn't he? Didn't work.
And that's only with 2 laps to go. So, you know, I
all that
don't
work.
think he's going to do it.
There's a bit of a can on the start of the straight there as well, but as we come in...
Oh, hang on, Max is...
0.7, drop back a touch.
Max jumped the curb.
Max jumped the curb, and that's brought it... They're both making mistakes.
Final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix, and Carlos Sainz is all over the back of Max Verstappen. Sainz again, he locked up down the hairpin. Verstappen locked up. Now they're all struggling out there as well. Max could just lose it. Sainz does not want to come second again in the same situation that he lost the Grand Prix in Italy in 2019 when he was hunting down Pierre Gasly that day.
I think unless Max does something stupid and makes a mistake, like he got very close to the wall just then.
7 tenths, now 9 tenths, that little mistake from Sainz as well. Now 8 tenths, I think this is Verstappen's.
He's beginning to slide.
Yeah, he's sliding out there, he's losing time. And now he saw it through the corner, he never hit the apex. That's going to give the time to Sainz into the braking zone. Is it going to be a Mansell? Sainz locked up!
Sainz locked up, so that's...
1.3 is not going to happen! Verstappen's won it! Verstappen's won it!
Verstappen held him off.
I don't believe that. A lockup from Carlos Sainz has cost him the chance. He's got the DRS,
He's
but
coming
it's
up
too
to the
late.
final corner.
Being cheered on, unless Verstappen puts it in the wall now, he doesn't. 7 races in a row for Red Bull. It's 5 in a row for Verstappen, who wins the Canadian Grand Prix, with Carlos Sainz finishing in second, and Lewis Hamilton takes his 2nd podium of the year, and his 9th podium here in Montreal. And Fernando Alonso is trying to defend from Zhou Guanyu as well as Valtteri Bottas. It's Bottas who's passed Zhou Guanyu as Alonso will take over. Charles Leclerc goes 5th from 19th, Russell's 4th, Ocon 6th, Alonso 7th, Bottas 8th, Zhou Guanyu gets his best ever result in Formula 1, and for the first time Lance Stroll gets points at his home Grand Prix.
And Lewis Hamilton takes the record off Ernie for the fastest milk cart in the West.
No more points as well. But Max Verstappen, that is a total from Emilia-Romagna, Miami, Spain, Monaco, Azerbaijan, and now here, 6 in a row for Red Bull, 7 race wins this year. They're unstoppable.
That is the checkered flag, Max. Oh, what an end. Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. I'm not sure you can hear us. We can't hear you, but that was amazing. Withstood all the pressure. Brilliant, brilliant drive.
The positioning was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah. We can't hear him.
Save yourself for the interviews, Max. We can't hear you, mate.
Yeah, look, he's shaking his head.
Christian said, though, big delivery under big pressure. Drove like a champion today, mate. Well done.
Did he have radio problems?
Yeah, that's what his question said. Did you have radio problems in that race?
Yeah, he must have done.
It must explain a little bit of mistakes there. What do you make of that race then, Josh?
That was an amazing race. Just having a look. Both Ferraris, both Mercedes, both Alpines, and both Alfa Romeos, all in the points. That is 4 teams, 4 Science Radio.
Bravo Carlos, mancato poco. Bravo così.
And a word of thanks.
And Fernando Alonso has been noted for weaving on the straight.
He weaves all the time.
Yeah.
Do we know why? Did we ever find out why Perez engine failed?
Gearbox hydraulic failure.
Hydraulic failure.
Yeah, he couldn't select. He was stuck in gear. It went down to third and just stopped there. Don't think it was power. I think it was definitely gearbox. And what I heard over the radio as well. Let's hear from Lewis Hamilton, third today.
Great stuff then, Lewis. Great stuff. That's P3, mate. Well-deserved podium. Really awesome.
Great effort, guys. Thank you so much. Car was a little bit better today. We got something here. Let's keep pushing.
Not bad for the fastest milk float, as Dad says, in Canada as well. As they come through, and this time, shut the door on the way out because it's getting cold now. As you can see, Ian Blake's just left the back of the commentary box as well. And I'll tell you what, Josh, this time no one's going to be moving the bollards, and I think that was a very good race. But it'll come for Carlos Sainz one day, won't he? A second exactly across the line. The gap, actually, it was 0.993 according to the iPad to Max Verstappen, but a lock up at the hairpin. You can't say they didn't give them their best here today. And it's Red Bull on a charge. Extend their lead in the Drivers' Championship. Extend the lead in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are throwing it away. This is all Red Bulls, with half the season still left to play.
Yeah, half the season left to go. As you said, we're going here. We're coming here to Silverstone in 2 weeks. The first weekend of July. The
First to the third, yeah.
First to the third.
Back
and
home.
It's just a great race here, and I hope there's more. And there's a Sainz congratulates Verstappen, and Verstappen congratulates Sainz. Sainz goes over. It was a great feature in the pre-race show, seeing what the coaches and drivers do. And
fantastic.
I don't know what else to say.
I think we've said it all. We'll hear from the pit interviewers shortly as well. I believe it's Danica Patrick or Jenson Button. It's one of the two doing the interviews. I'm going to have a quick look actually on my phone. Let's see how quick I can get the FIA pages up on my laptop to see who is going to be doing the interviews in the post-race procedure. Can't see anyone down there just yet, but the TV director's getting in as well. It's Jenson Button. Someone's taught me my earphones as well. Let's hear from Russell.
Good recovery.
Yeah, good recovery. Sorry, the pace wasn't as good at that last stint as it was at the start.
Not a bad run. Okay, let's hear then. I think Ted's down the pits.
But we'll fill in all the details.
Oh, sorry, I thought Ted was going to tell us something there because we were throwing it down to him. Cool down room doesn't really exist here as well, as it's all been good. Verstappen saying,
you need everything.
Verstappen saying you were pushing, weaving, no, pushing, weaving, no. And Sainz says he was giving it everything. Let's go down there to Jenson Button to have an interview with the drivers. Over to you, JB, in 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, Max. That was a hard-fought victory. It looked at the beginning that it was looking a bit easier for you, but that safety car at the end put you on a bit of a pressure, Carlos.
Yeah, the safety car didn't help. I think overall they were very quick in the race, so it would have been really tough for me to close that gap to the end, even on fresher tires. But yeah, it was really exciting at the end. I mean, I was giving it everything I had. Of course, Carlos was doing the same. You know, following is tricky around here, but I could see he was pushing, charging, pushing. But of course, naturally, when you're on the DRS, it's a bit easier to charge. So yeah, the last few laps were a lot of fun.
I guess you were very thankful for the straight line speed of the Red Bull round here.
Yeah, luckily this year we seem pretty quick on the straight, so that helps a lot.
The strategy, it looked very tricky out there to really understand what you should do with the virtual safety cars. Obviously, you stopped very early in the race and were looking towards a two-stop. Were you ever worried that you weren't able to catch up with Carlos?
I mean, overall, I think they were very strong in the race. So yes, it would have been tricky to catch up. But then, of course, the safety car came out, so they had fresher tires. So then I was like, well, I think I would have preferred attacking instead of defending, but luckily it worked out.
Great job, Max.
Right, thank you.
Now I have from Carlos Sainz in P2. Talking with Jenson Button.
Carlos, I mean, obviously you were gunning for the victory there, and it was so close. It looked like the hairpin, one lap to the end. You got really close and went a little bit deep. But you must still be happy with this result.
Yeah, I was pushing flat out. I mean, I wasn't leaving any inch to the walls and the braking. Well, I was pushing everything with the battery. I tried everything to pass Max, but today we just didn't have enough pace delta, you know, to get him close enough in the hairpin to then get him a bit out of line into the chicane. But yeah, the positive thing is that we were quicker, we were faster all race. It's just that little bit more to overtake around here.
It must give you confidence, though. The last couple of races haven't been the easiest for yourself or Ferrari. To come here and have that speed and be fighting for a victory.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy with the race pace, with the way we managed to put pressure on Max during the whole race, and you know, timing of the pit stops I think was right. Honestly, we tried everything, and we were very, very close to winning today. So I will take the positives and yeah, keep trying in the next one.
Cheers. Thanks, Carlos.
Now Lewis Hamilton, third place.
Lewis, it's great to see a smile on your face. I know it's not been the easiest year for you. After years of dominance, it must have been tough, but today, this is a good step forward for you, isn't it?
How you going, Montreal? We've had such an awesome crowd here this weekend. It's quite overwhelming, honestly, to get this third place. It's been such a battle this year. With the car and as a team, but we continue to stay vigilant and focused and never giving up, and that's something I'm so proud of and inspired by my crew. So thank you to everyone that's here and back at the factory. They're a little bit too quick for us at the moment. I was giving it everything, but we're getting closer. So we just got to keep pushing. Eventually, hopefully, we'll be in a fight with these guys.
But even the shift from Friday until today seems to be big. I mean, Friday you were saying it's undrivable, and it looked like, especially on entries. But today, you had them in your sights. Obviously, they had a bit of pace on you, but you could still see them at the end.
I could just about see them in the end. Thanks for the safety car. But yeah, honestly, it was our pace was quite good, particularly in the second phase of the stint, and we did a lot of work back in the simulator, but also here to get the setup right. So I'm honestly ecstatic. I think, as I said, didn't expect this coming into the weekend. It's my second podium of the year, so this feels really special, especially in where I got my first Grand Prix win. I love it here in Montreal. So big thank you to all the Canadians.
Lastly, how's the back feeling?
It's good. I'm back to being young.
Fantastic.
Cheers. Cheers.
And we'll carry on the talking.
Back to being young as well, which is great news as well, Josh, as they come through. And there's Red Bull. So they've won Saudi Arabia, Italy and Emilia-Romagna, USA and Mexico. So USA in Miami. Then won Spain, then won Monaco, then won Azerbaijan, now have won Canada. Their sixth win in a row. Their seventh of the season. Verstappen's sixth win of the season, if I'm not mistaken, with winning in Saudi. Then in Emilia-Romagna, then in America, then in Spain, and then in Azerbaijan, and now here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 races. It's all going strong. Let's hear from the drivers in the cool-down room now.
Let's hear these two, Verstappen and Sainz.
We'd like to, but they're not working. For the cool-down room. As Lewis Hamilton comes in now as well. It's actually a shocking TV.
I'd like to hear it. Stefano Domenicali, the man who runs F1, having a chat in the cool-down room as well. Lewis Hamilton's now made his way
shocking here
way into the cool room. But sadly, I don't think the sound is working.
It's not.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
I think it was a tailwind. Yeah. No slipstream.
That was a close one. Oh yeah, I couldn't see you after a while. You're in a. I was like, where is he? And I lost some time to you now.
What is going on?
I think we've lost the sound again. That's a shame.
There's that bump there. I was quite scared all weekend with it.
Jeez. Yeah, I braked before. It's like
before the bump.
There's not a lot of grip out there.
There's nothing.
Oh, is that the last lap?
Yeah, second to last.
Okay.
The tires get so warm at the front.
Yeah, well, you are constantly like so close to me.
Okay,
Well, that's getting more and more shocking every time we see it, Josh. That cool-down room. It's not getting worse. It's getting worse, actually, their coverage. It used to be so good. Now they're trying to modernise it. It just looks a bit pathetic, to be fair. F1 TV direction needs to be better improved, I feel. What's your opinions on it?
Yeah, it needs to be improved. And if your name is Megan Burt, I would mute it now, as Alonso is now under investigation.
Oh, no. Weaving on the straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought it might be. Lewis Hamilton then comes onto the podium. It is his 184th career podium in Formula One. Carlos Sainz, another second. It's his 11th podium in his Formula One career. For Max Verstappen, his 67th podium, his 26th Grand Prix win. And in his honour, we will hear the Dutch national anthem of the Netherlands as well.
And set him up, saying.
So the Dutch national anthem in the background, but as Megan would say if she joined us this weekend, well, she did for the start, but then disappeared as well. But sadly, due to copyright, we have to talk over this, as he's for saying as well. As another great win for Red Bull. Really are hurtling towards the World Championship in 2022. And everybody is also thinking the same thing as me. How early can they do it? Next time out, the British Grand Prix in Silverstone always provides us with an entertaining race. Just remember last year. Remember 2020's races. Remember 2019, 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. All of them. They are classic races. And Silverstone never fails to deliver a barnstorm British Grand Prix. That's next time out in 2 weeks' time. You're hearing now the Austrian national anthem for Red Bull as well. Josh, go on.
As soon as you said everyone's thinking how early can they do it, I was actually literally thinking when could they get the championship.
Absolutely spectacular as they come through. And a whole of the action as well, as many of the people taking some of the atmosphere down there in the pit lane and just soaking it in. The unique Canada podium with the Canada leaf splattered around the podium as well. The red, white national colours, of course, mainly on Charles Leclerc's Ferrari, I think, this year, but it was nearly white and nearly yellow, white and red colour. Took it with Carlos Sainz. But it wasn't to be. 0.993 at the moment across the line. As they come across the trophies momentarily, they seem to be playing the long version of the Austrian national anthem at the moment as it finally comes to a close over the background there as well. That took a long time and nearly went out of voice to come through. Were you going to say something, Josh?
Yeah, Sonoda, Alpha Tauri was fined €300 for Yuki Tsunoda speeding 2.4 kilometers an hour over as the trophies get presented on the reconnaissance laps.
First place for Max Verstappen as he lifts the trophy on high as well. He wins for the 26th time in his Formula One career. Another great race. Hey, girls, as well, the managing director of AWS here in Canada, the sponsor of this race, presents the Constructors' Trophy to Red Bull. It is Red Bull's 79th career race win. Almost at 80. Can they do it their home race next time out? Well, their factory home race at Silverstone. They're based in Milton Keynes, 40 minutes away from Silverstone. Carlos Sainz, another second. One of these days will be the first. And Lewis Hamilton will take over. And for the second time this year, it will be a podium position for Lewis Hamilton. And I think thoroughly deserved as well. As you know what's next, don't you? It may be Silverstone, but it's champagne time here in Montreal, Canada. It's all on a high for Red Bull. They have taken victory once again from pole position to lights out. It was Max Verstappen dominance. 7th win of the year for the team. 6th win in a row as well for Red Bull. 6th win of the season for Max Verstappen, but it was Perez who took it in Monaco. A 1-3 back then. So as the anthem plays in the background and Carmen overtune as well, the classical podium music, we look ahead to Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. Josh, to you, your thoughts on this race here in Montreal and going forward to Silverstone as well?
It was amazing. Don't know if I can say so. It's probably one of the best races in 2022, maybe.
It always like the Bahrain, I think, still takes it as dramatic, the season opener.
Yeah.
I think this out of 10, I think this was a 6.
Yeah, 6.
So we've still got more to come. And next up, it's Silverstone. That's going to be a 10 out of 10. Absolutely can't wait for that one. Coming up then on the YouTube channel, 7 days' time, you can join us for all 3 British Touring Car races as well. From Croft and the last race for the summer break for MotoGP for the TT Asset Circuit as well. But next up for Formula 1, it's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. We'll be live, as always, extended coverage throughout the weekend as well. We'll be live for nearly every session across Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3 for the British Grand Prix. W Series returns as well. The British Grand Prix, always a barnstormer, and as it's our home race, we'll put on a bumper crowd as well. My thanks to Ian Birch, my thanks to Megan for their appearance, my thanks to Josh Plays as well in the background. You can join us at 9:30, so in half an hour's time, I'll be reviewing the wrap-up show as well. You can go off and have a lunch now, Josh. I'll go and do the wrap-up show. But 2 weeks' time, it's the British Grand Prix, and we can't wait to be on home soil, back home to Silverstone then, where the championship rockets the way of Max Verstappen. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time from us all here. Good night from Montreal.